Time to read some story. Narrated by yours truly. Agonizing phantoms. That date, those numbers, is like a trigger in her head. Merely seeing them brings back the scenes of her past along with intangible pain. Alright. Interesting premise. There was a door. A door appeared in the darkness. I remember when the door was shut and made a loud noise. How disappointing you are. You're wasting away what you could be worth. Ignoring all the effort made by others. Ha, no one would want to be with you with the way you're acting now. Let her go! The terminal lights up with an incoming call, interrupting the dream before it starts. Ooh, Vanessa! Oh, with the eye patch too. Did I actually fall asleep? The annoying doctor in the Star of Life insisted that Vanessa stay for another 2 weeks after her wounds had healed. She has now finally left the ward, which had become somewhat familiar. Whether intentional or not, she is yet to receive any combat missions after returning for almost a week. It could be either the world has become too peaceful, or someone has turned her work hours into more time for recovery out of some silly considerations. Vanessa quickly adjusts her posture and tidies the hair that has become messy during the short rest, preparing to start her duty. When everything is ready, she picks up the call. Commander Vanessa of Egret, would this be a good time to discuss filing vacancies for your squad? Go ahead. I haven't received any applications yet. Is there any problem with the submission process? I saw the list of candidates and didn't think any one of them could replace Teasel. I see. I will continue looking for potential members. I'm just slightly concerned that... Would it be alright for an elite squad to be understaffed? Of course, it is ultimately up to the commandant to decide. I'm just suggesting it may be an option to choose a relatively fitting candidate for team integrity, given that the missions could be potentially challenging. I'll think about it. How is Bambinata? The report you uploaded yesterday mentioned that she just had to read the external memory module again like always. The combat data is all coded into the external memory module. It won't affect her fighting abilities. I'll double check her status after this. I have no intent to question your capabilities, but the situation on the surface is still tense. There may be some missions assigned to you very soon. If Egret decides not to recruit more members, please ensure the current member is in the best condition. This is for your safety. Understood. Vanessa hangs up and puts aside the terminal, displaying the profiles and dozens of substitute members. As the screen dims, the portraits and information of constructs become unrecognizable. The advisor had a point. After Teasel left, Bambinata became the only construct left in Egret, greatly limiting their combat strength and capabilities in implementing tactics. As the commandant, Vanessa already saw this coming sometime earlier. She's not submitted the application only because of one unanswered question. How can she create loyal toys? The foolish method used by that chief obviously wouldn't suit her. How could she create a false, loving home with such irrational actions and laughable values? If everyone could obey her orders like Bambinata, things would be so much more efficient. Why should puppets have their own thoughts after all? Why would they risk their own lives just to defect? Before Teasel left at the seaside, she was actually keen to ask this question, but the pride deep within did not allow her to. Thinking of the unfinished dream, she becomes increasingly restless for no reason. What a disgusting dream. Mistress, are you feeling unwell today? Vanessa's expression and attire looked nothing unusual. Her pace of walking remained unaltered. Still, her anxiety is spreading in the air like the light fragrance on her body. Bambinata's blue bionic pupils carefully observe her mistress's actions, trying to figure out where her anxiety comes from. Is your frame doing alright? The memory data in the external module has already been retrieved. The sync range is... I'll have a look at myself. Yes, mistress. Vanessa connects Bambinata's external memory module to her terminal and starts to check sector by sector. The read time of combat data is slower than before. Could this be because it lacked regular maintenance while on Earth? Sorry, Bambinata should have discovered it sooner. After this, I want you to go to Asimov and ask him to check your external memory module. I'll send the request to him later. Yes, mistress. Bambinata's amnesia used to stir up some debate. In the early days, the construct operation carried greater risks, and the consequences were often revealed soon after the frame was activated. To researchers, particularly those whose main field of study included the mind, Bambinata was definitely an important subject as her condition was stable for quite some time before the inability to recall memory data began to appear intermittently. But as the war progressed, all the unresolved construct symptoms and potential problems had to be put aside, and conservative measures were taken to ensure that the research subjects could fulfill their duties normally for the time being. After Vanessa took Bambinata into her squad, Asimov upgraded her original memory asset device and configured some built-in data that allowed her to read important instructions immediately at any time after her symptoms took place, so they would not impact her battle significantly. But apart from the necessary data from battle and missions, the external memory module cannot store Bambinata's memory infinitely. Once it reaches the capacity limit, the earlier memory will be wiped as new data is written into the device. Ah, damn, that's sad, dude. Like, that's kind of sad, man. That's kind of sad to think about. Like, having to forget your oldest memories forever. Like, that's kind of messed up. But it's also kind of profound as well, considering that most people can't really remember their childhoods, depending on how old they are, but damn, dude. This is deeply Huh. Yeah, I feel you, dude. This is all I can do for now. My guess is that her symptoms could be the after effects of the experiment, but I cannot make a more concrete conclusion without its detailed data. Yeah, man. It's hard, dude. Yeah, the story of this game is can get pretty real and dark sometimes, man. Can really hit in the feels, dude. The key to solving Bambinata's predicament is to figure out how the Inver device causes the conflict in her mind and how to respond to it. But all the current research on the Inver device is still in its exploratory stage. It is nearly impossible to find out the correct way to avoid or resolve her problem under the current conditions. Perhaps when we have finally deciphered the secrets of the Inver device, will we be able to find the missing pieces that resolve her complications. But I'm quite certain that would be an impossible task for now. The good news is that her amnesia isn't due to memory loss. The data entered her deep mind and couldn't be retrieved. We humans also have many things we can't recall, but these memories still exist in subconscious. In other words, if we can resolve this problem, she will be able to recall all her memories in theory. If you think this is the most appropriate way to handle her situation, so be it. I don't care what happens later, I just need my constructs to obey me, that's all. Isn't that right, Bambinata? Memory data continuity is good. The starting date is Vanessa's fingers freeze upon the terminal. That date, those numbers, is like a trigger in her head. Merely seeing them brings back the scenes of her past along with intangible pain. The unforgettable wounds, pulsating red tide, incapacitated chief lying in the basement, and Grey Raven with their worn-out frames. Somehow, an indescribable feeling drives her to tap the reproduce memory data on the terminal. Establishing memory scenes, 100%. Reproducing memory data, 100%. Ooh. You're not allowed to pass through here. How long has Grey Raven been gone? 1 hour, 54 minutes since engaging with the enemy. Not even 2 hours? The enemies won't stop coming. In the end, I'm also doing such silly things. Watch out! Bambinata turns around to clear the enemies that lunge at Vanessa's flank, but the position she was guarding is immediately taken by more enemies. With her wounds, Vanessa has reached her physical limit. Bambinata holds her with one hand while trying to block the enemy attacks with the other. She puts explosives on a damaged short-range drone, blowing up a large wave of enemies. But more hetero creatures just swarm up, trampling over the remains of their fallen kin. 2 of them continue to fight and retreat until the red tide has pushed them to a corner of the street. Bambinata lets Vanessa lean on a pile of rubble, trying to save her some stamina. Bambinata is ready. Mistress, please take a break. Bambinata will hold them off until you can walk on your own. You can try to contact Grey Raven with his transmitter. Here is the detonator and the rest of the medicines and serum. Seeing no response from Vanessa, Bambinata gently puts the detonator in her dominant hand. The secret weapon was attached long ago. Bambinata has set it to the delayed mode that you often use. Once started, Bambinata will use the last 5 seconds to adjust the detonating position. Bambinata holds her arm up to show Vanessa the explosives attached to her frame. The location of the explosives have been carefully calculated. Under extreme circumstances, it allows Bambinata to remain conscious for 1 extra instant before she is blown to pieces. That brief instant can maximize the value of this devotee's sacrifice. Bambinata turns around, trying to push the enemies back. Her petite body dances among the crimson waves like a splash of foam that refuses to be carried away. She may be able to disregard fatigue and pain, but her body is unable to withstand the onslaught of the tide of doom. This should be enough for Grey Raven too. You better live on and bear the weight of my sacrifice for the rest of your lives. Vanessa tries to sit up, but the excruciating pain from her wounds prevents her from doing so. We'll stick together and overcome any obstacle. We'll never flee the battlefield because of hardship or fear. Vanessa recalls Liv's words. Gazing at the blue figure inside the red tide, she makes an almost unnoticeable smile. Bambinata, it's been so long. Is this enough? Then the detonator slips from Vanessa's hand and falls to the ground, with fresh blood still on it. I really want to shower, at least not like this. No. Bambinata gets distracted for 1 second and immediately receives a few deep wounds. Without Vanessa's careful maintenance, she looks like an abandoned old toy. The broken doll is utilizing all possible computing power to calculate a chance for her mistress to survive. After simulating all the methods that she can make use of herself, Bambinata still can't find an answer. But she must find one. Otherwise, everything will be in vain. The secret weapon. The countdown. The bloody battle. The construct frame. Hetero creatures will not wonder why the construct in front has slowed down. All they want is to tear their opponents apart. Before Bambinata is devoured by the hetero creatures in front of her, They suddenly collapse to the ground without any warning. Then the enemies that are farther away also stop attacking. They just stand still, looking lost. A tall, slender figure walks towards them, his back facing the sun. I didn't expect temporary access could be this powerful. Teasel. Hearing the name from Bambinata's mouth, Vanessa tries to open her eyes on the brink of unconsciousness. Vanessa's nearly stalled mind struggles to move again. She looks at the figure that appears from the wave of Hedo creatures, somewhat shocked. When a construct becomes lost for a prolonged time, they have often been devoured by the red tide or have chosen to flee the battlefield. To any commandant, the least desirable situation would be to see their once comrades standing against themselves. After a brief moment of surprise, Vanessa immediately realizes that the person in front is no longer that toy who obeys all her orders, which means there is only one way to deal with him. Did you purposely make the minions stop so you can laugh at your former mistress up close? Or did you come to me to share some experience of manipulating your own puppets? Teasel does not answer. He just continues walking toward Vanessa until Bambinata holds the mantis blades that ruthlessly cut through numerous enemies against him. Stay back, Teasel. Let him come. He didn't have to show up if he wanted to kill me. I want to hear what this traitorous puppet has to say in the final moment. But let him come, Bambinata. Yes, mistress. Bambinata runs to Vanessa first. She sits down to grab Vanessa's hand, still openly showing her hostility against Teasel. Teasel just calmly and slowly crouches down. Taking a clean roll of bandage and medicine from his outfit, he carefully rewraps the dressing on Vanessa's left eye. After skillfully securing the end of the bandage, he puts the empty roll next to Vanessa's head. The empty bandage case falls to the ground, making a hollow sound. This is the last bit of supplies it took from Babylonia. Teasel looks directly into Vanessa's eyes. His voice is completely calm. He picks up the blood-soaked detonator and holds it in his hand like Vanessa used to. I've been waiting for you to press it. Now that I can think about it, I can remember your face each time you press the detonator. I forgot when it started, but I often wondered how you would press the button when it was my turn to be the bait. But I can guess it without having to experience it. You probably wouldn't have any emotion at all. I hated your smile, teasing, sarcasm, or even satisfaction. They were all the feedback given by an owner to their belongings. When your belongings were blown up into pieces, you didn't even want to spare a laugh for the show. To you, we are just such objects. When we were alive, you used us like toys. When we vanished, you even stripped us of our very last purpose as objects. Bambinata may be your favorite. That's why I've been waiting to see your face when you blow her up. After you kill your favorite and most obedient toy, I will take your life with my own hands. Bambinata won't let you do that, Teasel. Teasel looks at Bambinata. His finger is still rubbing the bottom of the detonator. Vanessa sneers. Her and Teasel's positions have now reversed. But her pride has not dwindled, even in the slightest. I've trained you well. Your twisted sense of humor deserves my praise. Do it then. You can also free your fellow toy, Bambinata. That's what I don't understand. I just cannot figure out how Grey Raven persuaded you to stay back, and even made you change your attitude towards your toys. To you, their way of doing things has always been extremely ridiculous. If you really want to know. No, actually, I don't have to know anymore. I just want my body to belong to myself and myself only. Nothing else matters to me, whether it's you, Egret, or Grey Raven. Teasel's face is still calm, like a still lake under the moonlight. The name Teasel was chosen by you. I don't want it wanted to appear on that monument as a member of Egret next to your name. That's why I came here in person to announce to you that there will no longer be a T-Soul in this world after this. You. Vanessa still has something to say, but an overwhelming sense of exhaustion knocks her out cold. Yeah, it is, man. Story deep about... This is truly a story about humanity in its deepest sense. And that's what I love about it. This is truly a story about humanity in its deepest of senses. Mistress! She's not dead, she just passed out. Teasel wants to lift Vanessa up, but Bambinata gets in his way. Her blade has already left a mark on Teasel's arm. Don't touch her. You better let me through, otherwise she will just die here. Do you really not hate her at all? Why would Bambinata hate Mistress? I heard that she might have tampered with her mind, so I understand your unconditional obedience. But don't you want to experience what it feels like to have everything decided by yourself for yourself? You could do what you want to do instead of merely following someone else's orders. You can be a free individual. Bambinata wants to do what Mistress wishes. Freedom isn't a necessary condition to complete Bambinata's missions. Looks like you aren't ready yet. If you finally understand what I said one day, try to find me again. I can introduce you to them. Then you will realize what freedom actually means. Memory data reproduction ended. Vanessa presses the stop button. Her finger hovers above the data edit menu without realizing it. She never thought that Teasel would approach Bambinata after she passed out. Bambinata did not hesitate a little bit, nor was there any sign of her frame being hacked into, still. If you finally understand what I said one day, try to find me again. I can introduce you to them. Will Bambinata choose to leave her when she finally understands the meaning of freedom? Ultimately, it was not Bambinata's choice to join Egret as a combat construct. If she ever... Go to Asimov now. He can find out about your other problems. Okay, are you staying here, Mistress? Just go. Bambinata stops asking. She just salutes Vanessa and leaves. Nope. Yeah, that was just a memory of the past. But luckily, no. Vanessa opens Bambinata's sleeping pod. Without exception, all of the accessories inside were handpicked by Vanessa herself. Also, quick summary about this game for you, Drift Knight, and all those... For Drift Knight, and for all those who are unfamiliar with this game. Basic premise of the story is that there is a deadly virus that infected the world and mainly infects humans and machines, but the virus effectively kills humans / severely cripples humans, but it basically turns machines and robots and all that stuff into sort of pseudo mechanized zombies in a sense. So basically what's happening is humanity sort of lost, quote unquote, as they had to flee Earth, and now they're living on a space station, and their mission is to take back the Earth, essentially, from the virus. So yeah, that's a quick Cliff Notes version of the basic premise of the game and story. For some reason, she gets even more annoyed, but can't figure out where this emotion originated from. Hey, welcome to the stream, Aliana. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Vanessa throws a punch at the sleeping pod's alloy shell, making a dry, muffled thud. Oh, my bad. My bad. If Mistress does not want to talk about it, do not ask. This is the pattern that Bambinata has discovered through numerous attempts. This She figures this would be the style of interaction most accepted by her mistress. When Mistress is willing to share her feelings with Bambinata, she will naturally be able to understand them. As for the anxiety that arises during this period, Bambinata has already learned to suppress it deep within herself. Construct Bambinata from Egret, requesting external memory module checkup. Here you are again. Come, I have half an hour of free time. Here, he will take over after that. The researcher points to the other researcher next to herself. He's wearing a trainee tag and looks a little nervous. Is that Construct from Egret, the classic case of construct amnesia? He immediately covers his mouth. Pointing out the subject's condition in front of herself is way too harsh. Besides, Bambinata is more like a special research case than a patient to them. While he is hesitating whether to apologize for his rudeness, the other two have already continued their conversation. Bambinata, are you here for a regular checkup, or are you already experiencing some issues? Mistress said the data reading speed has become slower. It might be because it lacked regular maintenance while on Earth. Let me see. Oh, you are having symptoms again. No wonder. If that's the case, let's run through a check. Better safe than sorry. Just wait here while I get the mind probe ready. Understood. The experienced researcher walks into a room next door where the devices are stored. A series of beeps can be heard as she configures the machine. Hi, Bambinata. Sorry, my name doesn't really matter. Forget about it. You won't have to call me by my name. Perhaps concerned that his name would bring Bambinata more unnecessary memories, the new researcher gives up introducing himself. Okay. Sorry just for now. I didn't mean it. I have heard of you, but didn't expect to meet you on my first day. Wait, that doesn't sound right either. What I mean is, I'm sorry you're having these symptoms. Bambinata looks down, but soon raises her head again. That's alright. Everybody has gotten used to it. All that matters is Bambinata can still be of use. Used to it? The researcher is speechless for a moment. That does not change the sad truth. If even the empathy of others has been worn away, how many times has she suffered from these helpless moments? Alright, intern. Take this and set it up for her. Ah, got it. The new researcher awkwardly setups the device for Bambinata. Although he knows connecting the device will not cause much pain to constructs as it would for a human, he is still trying to perform the task as gently as possible. Bambinata lies down on the metal bed just as she has done so many times before. Before closing her eyes, she takes a good look at the researcher. If he said his name just now, at least it would be stored in the external memory module for some time. With this meaningless thought in mind, Bambinata follows the instructions, ceasing to think. You didn't see it in person. That monster was taller than a 10-story building in the end. Anyone would have freaked out. Ho, why aren't you bragging about yourself this time? Individual capability means nothing on a battlefield like that. Can you demolish a building by yourself? Couldn't do much even if there was a dozen of me. A dozen of you would hardly have any impact. I heard that almost all the elite squads on standby were dispatched in that battle. Anyway, thank goodness it's all over. I was prepared to die in the ocean. So what? We can always start again in a new frame. Talk as much as you want, but can you swear you weren't scared at all when you got badly wounded last time? Do you think I'm lame like you? I don't brag about my glorious days. Anyway, have you been recovering? You've been recovering for quite some time already. You're still returning to duty, aren't you? Which squad are you going to? I haven't decided yet. I was actually thinking of applying to become an elite member. What? You've been working hard behind me, haven't you? What a coincidence. I just heard that Egret was in need of members. Not too sure about the details, though. There wasn't any obituary either. People say one of them has gone missing. Egret, you serious? Hell no. I heard that guy defected. What? For real? For real? Persona reference. Their commandant was top-notch. They never suffered any significant loss. There must be a reason behind it. Is that thing on your neck filled with trash? Can you at least use your brain? Rumor has it is that those who had ever gone on a mission with Egret never came back with serious injuries. They either returned with a scratch or didn't return at all. Think about it. I'm definitely not going. If it's a good squad, how come one of their own defected? Have you ever heard of anyone defecting from Grey Raven? Impressive. Your great aspiration would probably make all the judges on the committee laugh out loud. Vanessa claps as she walks out from the corner. She's been listening to them gossiping about Tiesel's departure the moment she's left Bambinata's room. The two constructs are visibly shocked. One of them quickly covers his mouth, but then puts his hand down awkwardly. I don't know if Grey Raven will want you, but Egret definitely doesn't take trash. You, shut up. Oh, so, okay, quick summary about this game, Elena, for you. So this game is basically about there was this very, okay, so quick summary. This game is essentially about, there was this very worldwide virus on Earth called the punching virus that infects humans and machines. With humans, it basically kills them, makes them, very gravely wounds them, makes them go crazy. That's what the punishing virus is. But for machines, they can effectively turn the machines into machines/robots into basically robotic zombies, in a sense. Robotic zombies. So what basically happens is this game takes place after humanity left Earth because of the virus, and now they're technically living in a space station/colony at the moment, and their objective is to take back the Earth from the punishing virus by creating these sort of android, almost near, like, if you played Nier Automata, they're kind of like those kind of types of machines. They're sort of like androids/cyborgs in a sense. They're more like androids with to have human emotions and such and so forth. So basically, the objective is to take back Earth from the punishing virus and reclaim Earth. And you basically, and this is also a action RPG with a visual novel style of storytelling. And it's very human. I hope that made sense. Eliana. I hope that made sense at all. If trash like you can join an elite squad, humanity's probably doomed. As a commander of an elite squad myself, I can guarantee that you don't look like you can survive till that day. Better pray that you don't end up in the red tide on some surface mission. Vanessa sneers and walks to her own lounge, not even looking back. One of the constructs apparently does not want to escalate the situation. He pulls the other construct away to the other side of the corridor. Vanessa stops walking as her terminal receives an incoming call. Bambinata, is there any problem with your external memory module checkup? No, mistress. The checkup is still in progress. Bambinata received a mission order and needs to head toward the designated location for a briefing immediately. A mission on whose order? It seems to come from the President himself. I haven't received any notice. Did he ask you to go alone? There's also the Cerberus captain. That woman from Cerberus. Why? Vanessa hangs up and calls Celica. Sorry, Vanessa, I'm just about to start a mission briefing, right? I want to join this mission as Bambinata's overseer. Huh? Does her frame have any problem? No, but considering that one of the Egret members recently left the squad illegally, it would be safer for Bambinata to perform the mission with her commandant as the only remaining member of the squad. And I just happen to be free right now. Commander? Let her go. In a way, what Vanessa said makes sense. Understood, Vanessa. Vanessa, I will sync the mission details to your terminal right away. Ooh. Alright. Real good start to the chapter. Hey, Eliana! Thank you for the follow! Thank you for joining the fam. Thank you for following. Hope you enjoy your stay here. Unresolved problems. "3 hours ago. So relaxing. You must be ready for retirement." Rebecca slams a folder of documents on the tea table, causing the cups on top to tremble. Oh, glad to see you're enjoying it. Glad to see you're loving it. But, oh god, this guy. Oh god. This motherfucker. Oh, this guy. This son of a gun, huh? That's actually an option, but for someone in my position, I probably won't be able to enjoy my tea like now, even if I retire. Even if I retire. So let's just take it easy while we can. Collins hands a cup of freshly brewed black tea to the beautiful woman, but she seems completely untouched. You pulled that Grey Raven commanded in to stop Lit's plan, but I don't think you came out unscathed either. It was a lose-lose situation at most. Let me taste this. Oh, my bad. So bitter. It's probably worse than your mood, Rebecca. Rebecca's anger becomes increasingly visible. She seems to be losing patience. I must remind you that the lunar base is almost fully restored. Litz may seize the opportunity to make a comeback any time. You'll be lucky if Babylonia can take back control of the lunar base and the zero-point reactor. But I don't think Norman will give up their power so easily. Still smiling, Collins adds a ridiculous amount of sugar to his tea and stirs carefully, waiting for the sugar to fully dissolve. I don't understand why you can remain so calm. If things continue this way, I may have to reconsider my plans. Remember, I don't hold any stake in this. All I need is a friend with influence. I don't care who this friend is. Of course, all humans were born free, including you and me. If you think Litz would be a better friend, you're more than welcome to side with him. After all, I can't live without sweets, and I'm prepared to defy the world just for my sweet little enjoyment. I don't mind having another enemy. Collins bursts into laughter. He adds a lot of sugar to Rebecca's cup. But I think you are a smart person. Why don't you enjoy this sweet taste first? Collins taps on the spot next to him. Rebecca reluctantly sits down with a big frown. As she is about to pick up the cup, Collins continues to talk in a relaxed tone. To be honest, Litz did find an excellent opportunity, and credit where credit's due. I temporarily lost Luna. Without his care, they wouldn't have directly halted all my Ascendant-related projects. Still, I didn't completely overlook the possibility of losing Corona's trust one day, so I haven't lost everything here. The document I asked you to get is my bargaining chip. Collins picks up the folder that Rebecca dropped on the table. He opens it slowly, takes a deep breath in, and smiles, as if it were a bottle of aged wine that has just been opened. Are you going to use these records of past experiments as a bargaining chip? I did my research. None of them had any valid conclusion. Has age caught up with you and made you forget what they are? Forget? I can still remember every single experiment that I witnessed. I only asked you to for help because I didn't want anyone to notice me. The resources and manpower we invested in this project are beyond imagination. It was a pity that we never fully understood the invert device, but the byproducts of this experiment, like Luna, led me to the speculation the emergence of ascendants could be related to the invert device. Unfortunately, even Dr. Calon was unable to completely decipher the theories of the invert device. Without data to prove it, this only remains my personal guess. But from the conversation we had with Luna in the lunar base, she seemed to know about the secrets of the invert device. This suggests that the theory of the invert device could well be related to the Ascension Network. So it was you who turned me into a corrupted. Of course not. You were an accident. Or should I say, a necessary sacrifice. Dr. Calon's research has greatly increased the construct tech's chance of success, but it still had flaws. Necessary sacrifice? So you saw that as an accident, huh? Well, it doesn't matter anymore. The accident in the lunar base cost us Luna. Maybe we will never find out the answer from her. With a bitter and sorrowful look, Colin shakes his head hard, trying to forget this cruel fact, at least temporarily. Therefore, it doesn't matter that the Ascendant projects are temporarily halted. I can still take the path of the invert device. All I have to do is conquer it. The remaining value of the past investments can still be utilized. But hadn't you already recovered some experiment data previously? The construct development team had some thoughts, but the team studying the invert device never made it much progress. The data from this series of experiments were never really completely recovered. Vesalius only had access to the top priority data, or the data that cannot be disclosed externally. Because they halted the research, they also put the recovery experiment data to a lower priority. 2 hits are better than 1, no matter how good Vesalius is in the field of construct research. There's got to be some experiments and data that she cannot complete on her own, but she wouldn't be willing to work with the Science Council. The Parliament wants to maintain a good image, so they won't be able to do the experiments themselves. However, they have also privately inquired about this data. In other words, it can help them to exclude some of the incorrect answers that cannot be identified through simulation. Incorrect answers? Are you implying that the Parliament is also prioritizing the research on the invert device now? Not now. They have always been doing so. The Science Council wants to fully understand the invert device because it is the foundation of all construct theories. Despite their constant adjustments to the new invert device, they never have a clear understanding of it, making this data valuable to them. If that's the case, are you planning to use this thing to negotiate and strike a deal with Parliament? Honestly, I don't think the Parliament would share their research with us just because of some data of unknown origin. I never said there would be a deal. If the Parliament doesn't send us the research results, we can bring ours to them. What can we get from this, then? We only have part of the key to this treasure. If we can unlock the treasure by sharing our key, we will be able to at least see the treasure with our own eyes. Don't you understand? We don't have to reveal the secrets of the invert device ourselves. Whoever ends up first will have to share the results in the end. This is about the well-being of the entire humankind. Even if someone wants to keep to themselves, the world government has many ways to make them share. To sum up, the theories of the Inver device and the information about ascendance we got from Luna are the two core pieces in our puzzle. Getting things done is like tasting tea. The best time to start is probably when the heat has cooled a little. Collins finishes the cool tea in his cup and calls a number. Oh, shit. Sorry. That's the end of the weekly summary sent by the research team. Given the current level of manpower investment, this progress can be considered acceptable. Is that what the research team is trying to say? In other words, there's no significant breakthrough yet. The study of the Inver device has always been based on luck. We've always been gambling with fate. If we are to meet all the benchmarks set for that frame, we must conquer the mysteries of the Inver device. I know. The new specialized frame designed and fitted for Lee from Grey Raven is going through an urgent but challenging research progress. Unlike Imperia, which almost killed its user, this new specialized frame is designed with the hope that it can make its user completely immune to the punishing virus. If this frame works, it means humans can at least stand tall on the path of fighting the punishing virus, and humanity's comeback finally starts in a real sense. One of the major drawbacks of Imperia was that the equipped Inver device could not keep up with the Omega weapon's speed of absorbing the punishing virus, and eventually the accumulated virus would damage the user. If the parameters of the Inver device can be optimized based on the user's needs, the specialized frame could possibly neutralize the negative effects of the punishing virus, which is why the research on the Inver device has been prioritized once again. What about the surface? Any good news? Celica shakes her head and smiles bitterly. There's no worse news. Can we consider that as good news? The meeting room falls into silence for a moment. The hot vapor from the coffee and the cold air from the ventilation system blend together, taking heat away from the cup. Wait, I'm getting incoming comms. It's the man from Corono. Should I hang up? No, patch him through. Greetings, President. It's been a while. And you too, Nikki. I can feel your tension through the screen. What are you up to, Collins? I'm going to hang up if you're only here for chit-chat. Unlike you, we are very busy right now. After the emergency meeting about the lunar base ended, Collins suddenly disappeared for some time. Just like how he suddenly showed up in the meeting. Collins' influence is slowly being eroded. Corono has shifted towards Litz. This rumor does not come out of nowhere. Nobody knows what Collins would do when he's cornered. So Nicola and Hassan have to carefully think of the real purpose behind this call. No, I'm not here to catch up, but who knows? Perhaps Nikki here would buy me dinner after this. After all, I bear good tidings. The monitor shows that Collins is trying to send over an encrypted file. Hassan and Nicola exchange a look before nodding, gesturing to Celica to accept the file. Good tidings, huh? How timely. This document I have with me contains classified data from the early days of Corono's research. You must have guessed what it is about. Inver device. Seeing Hassan and Nicola quickly glance at each other, Collins sounds even more ecstatic. This was the record from our earliest experiments, purely authentic data collected from real subjects. Surely you know how much of a difference it makes using actual data instead of the estimated ones nowadays, right? Real subjects? It's against the law to experiment on constructs. If the control court gets a hold of this document, you can spend the rest of your life in a cell. which is why this data is so valuable. Don't get me wrong, all these experiments were done long before the Construct Protection Protocol was established. Progress requires sacrifices, but I'm still a law-abiding citizen. What do you want? I don't have a community Discord server at the moment, but I do let people know when I go live through Drift Knight's Discord server. If you want. So, Drift Knight, if you want to drop that Discord server link, I might get a new Discord server started up soon, though. Or actually, I think I may create a Discord server after stream. Yeah, I'll probably create a Discord server after stream, and probably, I think I'll link it into my description. So yeah, and create a command for that too. Can I just be in a giving mood, Nikki? As I said, progress. All I want is for humanity to uncover the secrets of the Enver device. I'm even willing to let you guys get your hands on the first-hand data yourselves. How's that for good faith? And I trust the Parliament will repay me with original data after recovering it and making a backup. Recovering it? The data is still on the data is on the surface? Obviously. We established many shelters when the war started, and many children we helped thank us by volunteering in our mind and Enver device research. Dear, it always moves me to tears whenever I talk about this. Collins lowers his head as he speaks, pretending to be devastated. Unfortunately, we didn't have enough time to prepare for the evacuation, and many pieces of valuable data were left behind on the surface, waiting to be recovered. You will receive the coordinates of a shelter soon. Send someone down, and you'll get your data. Nicola watches Colin's expression, hoping to find the catch of his kindness. You break my heart, Nikki, the way you look at me, and I thought there was some trust between us. Or maybe you're hoping I got my hands dirty as well. I can designate the construct involved in this recovery mission. How about that? After thinking briefly, Collins grins. Here's a thought, Nikki. Vera from Cerberus. What do you say? Why Vera? She has nothing to do with Corona anymore. Yeah, but there's no one better than her for investigating a Corona facility, right? What's Vera doing now, Silica? Vera, she just completed an operation 2 days ago. She's on standby currently. Alright, any other constructs on standby right now? Let me check. There's a Bambinata from Egret, and there's Dark Ares. Alright then, we'll send Bambinata and Vera. It's going to be safer and more effective to send them both, given how hostile it is down there. Understood. I'll start preparing the mission details. It's a deal then? Oh, wait, I forgot. This isn't a deal. I'll await your good tidings. It's risky to do this while first figuring out what he's after. I know, but the best way to figure out what he is planning is to be there when he makes every move. You and I both know that those Corona experiments. We even mentioned acquiring those data, given their usefulness. We just didn't expect Collins to hand them over himself. And I remember a proposal regarding Vera. That proposal. I'll send it to her. Alright. The construct from Egret. Are we sure about sending her with Vera? Do you still remember her background? I do. Her current state won't be very helpful, however. If this is a game of chess, we'll make sure we utilize all our pieces to their fullest. The Cerberus captain, did you get involved with the task force last time? Vera has always given me a good impression, that's all. Then why put her name forward? You should have avoided Parliament's attention if you want to recruit her. I still remember Atlantis when she... Nikki and Vera are both people from Corono. And anyone who is a part of Corono won't forget that the strongest bond is profit. No doggo doesn't obey when it's their profit on the line. I'm just curious to see how strong their bond is. Collins remembers that Hassan also appointed another construct, whose name sounded familiar. With his faint recollection, he pulls up another file, and he cannot stop laughing after going through 2 pages. Bambinata? What's so funny? Nothing, just serendipity. I'm confused. Do we really need 2 constructs for this? Hey, Vera! Woof woof. Sorry. I'm sorry. The door to the transport craft slowly opens. The unique scent of sanitizer rushes out of the aircraft, gently sending Vera's red hair blowing in the wind. Vera, the situation on the surface is quite complicated right now. President Hassan and Chief Commander Nicola are hoping that you and Bambinata can watch each other's back and return as quickly as possible. I'm not the only ones with questions here, am I? Dollface here must be equally perplexed, despite not saying a word. Vera points her terminal at Bambinata. Bambinata has no objections regarding the current mission. But Bambinata is capable of accomplishing it herself if needed. See? I'll take it from here, Silica. The mission was an impromptu decision. There were no scouting efforts beforehand, hence the current deployment to minimize the chance of accidents during the operation. If you still have questions, I can answer them at a suitable time in a suitable way. Period. We're counting on you, Vera. Bambinata. Celica may sound gentle, but Vera could feel the finality in Nicola's words. Not to mention, either this apparently simple mission is a messy political move, and Vera is dragged into it by forces beyond her control. The puppet-like construct before her may be sent here to monitor her. Oh, it's cool. No problem. But, yeah. Quick thing. Unfortunately, I don't have a Discord server yet, but I'll likely set it up after stream, but I also put when I'm live in my friend Drift Night stream. I put whenever I'm live there also as well. So by the end of this, probably after stream, I'll set up a Discord, and yeah, I'll probably link it in my Twitch bio / description. So yeah, or in my about links. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Or the suitable time and suitable way. Nicholas said we were not just words to reassure her. Vera turns her gaze towards her well-prepared teammate. Bambinata has been Vera turns her gaze towards her well-prepared teammate. Bambinata has been sitting in the back of the transport craft, waiting for Vera to finish her call ever since their aircraft arrived. Hey, which squad are you from again? Mistress's team is called Egret. Mistress? That has a nice ring to it. I should get Noctis to start practicing. Does your mistress dress you like that, so you Egrets can play house when there's no mission? Bambinata doesn't respond to Vera's tease, and Vera stops trying to get Bambinata to talk. Clear footsteps can be heard coming from afar, right as the door to the transport craft is about to close. A foot stomps onto the slow-rising platform. Mistress, how come? I've been assigned as the commandant of the operation. Vanessa passes her terminal to Vera, showing Vera who is actually in charge here. The Egret Commandant. Ah, I remember now. Isn't this the only member left on your team? Your mistress must value you a lot. So much so that she'd request to join a mission on the surface for her construct. Vera meets Vanessa's gaze, her grin slightly provoking. You're here right on time. I was trying to have a conversation with your construct here. Vanessa puts away her terminal elegantly, turning around and sitting down by Bambinata. Bambinata helps Vanessa put on her seatbelt attentively and gestures to the safety staff outside the transport craft to continue closing the door. What kind of bond has the Cerberus captain formed with my construct here? We didn't start off on the right foot. We have plenty of time here, don't we? Alright, yeah. Ooh. Starting to heat up a bit. Path in the Mist. Combat stage. Okay, Vera and Bambinata. Cool. Oh, right into combat, are we? Okay then. Vanessa, the mist is heavy. Hypersensitive sulfides, but lower than the harmful range. Something's on the tree. Is it corrupted? Bambinata, check the terminal. Yes, miss. Okay, going too fast. Went too fast. Sorry. This place looks like their cemetery. I've heard some rumors about you before, Dollface. That you lose your memory on occasion. Even if Bambinata's memory data is lost in battle, Bambinata can still access the data required for combat from the external memory module. Then what's the plan B if you're incapacitated on the battlefield? Mistress will have Bambinata act as a decoy to create an opening for others. So the rumors are true. No wonder the Egret only have you left now. Bambinata, what did the Science Council check on you before you set off for the mission? They tried to measure the latency by having Bambinata reassess the data from the external module, but it was soon interrupted because of the mission. Just in case, access the data here one more time. Understood. Ooh. This time we'll do it slowly. Access the data section by section. Avoid data conflicts and start with the simplest. Okay.
It's okay. Pain must be endured.
Okay. Reloading usual combat move data. Okay, this is interesting. It's a bit different. Okay, this is a bit different from normal stories. Okay, this is actually really different. Nice.
We cannot get past here.
Hey, Egretti, we have some guests ahead. Don't call me like I'm your friend. Call me Commandant. Reality. And don't waste my time reporting something I've already seen. Oops, I thought your eyes were still recovering. I'm sure that Chivas thanked you in person for all your contribution, despite the fact that you're a former rival, right? For that person? What a terrible joke. Enough of this nonsense. Ready to engage. Yes, temporary basic combat mode enabled.
Not good enough.
Allocating combat module linkage. Oh.
Puppets must obey.
When dodging, ping orbs will trigger more follow-up damage. Amnesia will additionally be activated by a 3-ping. Okay.
Yes, mistress.
Okay, so it has to be a dodge. Okay, cool.
Remove all obstacles. Puppets must obey. Remove all obstacles. Must obey.
Re-simulating signature move.
Your existence is against the mistress's wishes.
Okay, damn.
It's okay. Pain must be endured.
Oh god, that's sad.
Remove all obstacles. Your existence is against the mistress's wishes.
Hey, nice. Combat data loading completed. No data conflicts detected. Switch to combat mode. Great, let's keep this going.
Must obey. It's okay. Pain must be endured. Yes, mistress.
Are your chores all finished now? By the way, I'm usually highly efficient when I'm on my own. So the two of you can continue playing your little mistress and servant game. But don't worry, I'll be giving the Egret 5-star reviews in my mission report. How nice of you, with a captain who is used to saying one thing but doing another. Sorry, readjusting a little bit to get more comfortable. I'm starting to feel sorry for the Cerberus Commandant. Cerberus's commandant has absolute trust in me and will never treat me like a monitored subject. What will you say, dollface? I'd rather say Cerberus' commandant is also struggling with to discipline a vicious dog. We should exchange thoughts on this. Oh, unfortunately, my commandant has many more important jobs to do than listening to your constructive insights. I don't think the things between higher-ups are for you to worry about. Toys should only do what toys are supposed to do. Now, move in the 30-degree direction. Yes, mistress. Oh, damn.
Yes, mistress. Remove all puppets. Not good enough. We cannot get past puppets. Must obey.
Bambinata, check one more time if the ones on the tree are the same type of experimental constructs that attacked us. Negative. The ones that attacked Mistress were the corrupted. However, the remains on the tree are not simply experimental constructs. Some of them are also faint punishing virus readings. Given that our target location is about 500 meters ahead, it's possible that it's already been invaded by the corrupted. We'll be moving forward stealthily from here on. Oh, nice. Indeed. Alright. Echoes of yesterday. Let's continue on. Sorry, I was just chilling, drinking some bubble tea. Right there. Just swallowing down the tapioca pearls. So, you know. With the enemies out of the way, a retro-looking building can be seen at the end of a forest path. Continuing the story, actually. It's a new node of the story. Yeah. It's actually the next node of the story. Yeah. Next story node. Intricate tiles adorn the period stonework, framing the unique tall spire without making it unapproachable. Dark green and brown, a popular color combination during the Golden Age, cover the exterior. Despite the building eventually being owned by Chrono as a shelter, it is apparent that the architect intended it to be a cozy resort. A shelter. Who would Bambinata be now if she had not been adopted by her parents back then? Oh, okay. Oh, that's interesting. So technically Bambinata and Vanessa are stepsisters. Kind of. Is that the right term? Is it stepsisters? Or is it just sisters? Because it's adopted. I think it's just sisters. Whatever. But still. Wow. Makes sense. That kind of makes sense why Bambinata is so loyal to Vanessa then. Because blood is thicker than water, I guess. Or at least family bonds are thicker. For the first time in a very long time, Vanessa tries to remember the first time she met Bambinata. The carbon fiber made blinds rise automatically at 2 o'clock in the afternoon as programmed, allowing the bright but not blinking artificial sunlight into the living room. Usually ending her afternoon nap at this hour, Vanessa has awoken already. Tidied up and dressed, Vanessa is sitting with her mother for a cup of child-friendly latte at her mother's insistence. She puts her porcelain cup back onto the saucer sternly, but the clanging porcelain does not draw the adult's attention as she hoped. Frustrated, Vanessa leans on the sofa as she sits there, her feet dangling and kicking impatiently. Why are you still on the sofa, Vanessa? Ooh. Mommy? I'm kidding. But am I? I don't want her in our home, Mother. We're not talking about this again, Vanessa. Now straighten your dress. They'll be here soon. Don't embarrass this family. Father. Come here, Vanessa. Raymond. Raymond straightens his collars to perfection in front of the mirror before bending down and helping Vanessa smoothen her dress. Doesn't this look much better? Now your mother talked to you about this a week ago, didn't she? You should be happy about getting a younger sister soon. Not to mention that your sister is capable of... Just know that we're doing all of this for you. It's time. We have to get to the entrance to the residential district. They can't deliver inside. Manners, Vanessa. Don't forget what I always teach you. But I don't want a sister. Don't you upset me right now, young lady. Her mother's exquisite face immediately sinks. Afraid of looking up at her mother's face, Vanessa bites her lips nervously. Time to go. Realizing that she cannot change what is to come, the young child looks greatly displeased, but no amount of resentment will give her parents any pause. Eventually, she follows them to the sister she does not want. Originally a colony ship, Babylonia did not have its residential district designed with opulence in mind. After it became an ark, the district was further balanced between comfort and the number of homes it could provide. But the researcher is still stunned by the holographic landscape and the automatic artificial sunlight. He never thought that there would be such disparity between the simple lodgings on the ship and on the surface. Not readjusting, sorry. Back to his senses. The researcher gulps right as the familiar faces appear behind the glass door that is beyond his status. He immediately taps the girl behind him, calling her attention away from the holographic pool. It's been too long. It must have been a difficult journey. How's it going? Is the research going well? It's so-so. There hasn't been significant progress since you were gone, Petra. There have only been more problems. This kid's amnesia, for example. Do you have any internal data regarding this kid, this kind of mind symptoms? We do, Dr. Raymond. I've backed up a part of her research data. Everything is in the suitcase. Stop spacing out, Bambinata. Here, these are your parents now. The researcher drags Bambinata from behind him toward the two adults. With all eyes on her, the girl acts like a tamed fawn. Look at us, forgetting why we're here. You're Bambinata, aren't you? Yes, Mother. Oh. Okay. So at this point, Bambinata is already construct. Oh. That's interesting. That at this point that she was already construct. What a good girl. Here, this is your sister Nessa. Come on, Vanessa. Having been hiding behind Petra and Raymond, Vanessa steps up unwillingly. She locks her head out of spite, refusing to look Bambinata in the eyes. Nessa. Vanessa's annoyance is plain to see. Noticing how Bambinata almost falls back behind the researcher, but chooses to stand her ground, Vanessa's gaze is even more disdainful. Your sister might be a little bit tired, having just woken up from her nap. Where's your manners, Vanessa? Say hi to Bambinata. Vanessa turns her head away, begrudgingly grabbing Bambinata's hand and shaking it. Kids, am I right? It's normal to be grumpy after being woken up from a nap. So, Bambinata, you'll be living on Babylonia with your parents and your sister from now on. Not many people are as lucky as you, so behave, okay? Bambinata will. Are you leaving? I am. You don't have to come back for more experiments now. Bambinata nods obediently, lowering her head right as she's about to cry, not showing any emotion regarding the researcher leaving. Bambinata has always been the most well-behaved one. You don't have to worry about that, Doctor. Feel free to contact me if there's any progress or questions regarding the research. We're all very excited to have an expert like you on this case. As the adults begin to talk about business, Vanessa steals a glance at her sister. Her irritating braids, miserable expression, and tactless clothes, and yet mother and father are treating her with such kindness. How annoying. This obedience must be an act to steal mother and father's attention away from me. Ah, she's looking this way. How irritating. Stop looking at me. Ray, do you mind taking a photo for us? We want to welcome Bambinata into the family. Of course not. Right here? How about this side? We can have something nicer as the backdrop. Come on, children. Here, Bambinata, stand before me. Raymond gently smiles, reaching out with a hand patiently for the girl to react. Bambinata stands before her father as she was told, adjusting her posture for the photo. Petra pulls Vanessa back next to Bambinata and squeezes Vanessa's shoulder, indicating her to look at the camera. Everyone ready? Here we go. 3, 2, 1, smile! Ah. Despite how unwilling Vanessa is, there's no way she can stop Bambinata from becoming a part of her family. Aw. Aw, what a cute family photo. Yeah, this... Sorry, I'm stretching. But yeah. Really cute family photo, man. Raymond and Petra stay home way more than usual for the week after that, but they're always spending but they are always spending their time with Bambinata during the day. Vanessa watches them through the door secretly and sees Raymond gently unplugging cables from the back of Bambinata's head before Petra pats and compliments her. Vanessa has never seen her mother smiling like that. Between the days spent in the laboratory and the nights spent in the home shelter shared by the four of them, Vanessa has been getting reprimanded for her increasingly petulant behavior. Raymond and Petra are overjoyed at the progress of the research, and Bambinata's cooperation has only made the process easier. The excitement of tackling an unresolved mystery in their field has kept them fully occupied, to the extent that they are aware of the crack forming beyond their scientific research. Oh, damn. That is some good visual symbolism. The crack in the frame. The crack in the photo frame. Really good visual symbolism. Very good symbolism. I like very good storytelling. Device. Usage. Hey, who let you replace the photo of me and my parents? Vanessa steps into the living to find Bambinata placing the photo of the four of them on the tea table. The original family photo without Bambinata is nowhere to be found. Furious, Vanessa shoves the new photo into Bambinata's arms, and the photo frame drops onto the hard floor, the glass shattering into pieces. Ooh, great story. Great storytelling. Double meaning. Bit of a double meaning there. With the broken picture frame symbolizing a shattered family and also actual thing breaking. That's great stuff. Bambinata falls from the force of Vanessa's push, and she looks up at Vanessa helplessly. Seeing Bambinata's annoyingly pitiful expression, Vanessa repeats her question. I asked you a question. Who let you replace the photo of me and my parents? Mother told Bambinata to put the new photo here, so... Listen, I never agreed to you being my sister. You are not stealing mother and father away from me. Would you want to be an obedient puppet like you? Who would want to be an obedient puppet like you? Mother and father are simply fooled by your act. I hate you! How did Bambinata look back then? Shocked? Helpless? So puny that she almost cried? Vanessa tried to piece together how Bambinata looked back then, but something does not seem to line up. Hey, wake up! We're there, so stop daydreaming. Is there a single sensible person in Egret? Vanessa immediately takes out her terminal to confirm their coordination while trying to push away the untimely flashback. I was just calculating the risks. Guess who's staying back when there's an emergency? Hey Bambinata, your mistress called... Mistress? Enough. Avoid the front door and inspect the interior from that window first. Vera chuckles, seeing Vanessa flustered, and she sees the way toward the broken glass window. Alright. Peeping is the next stage. I'll start from the beginning. Vanessa, something's off. This is way too clean. It's almost like someone's still living here. Could it be those experimental constructs on the trees outside? Playing house here? Unlikely. There seems to be something here that scares them. Damn. No experiment items found. it makes any sense. Hidden tracks of the experiments. Okay. Brick model. Brick model. I don't know how to pronounce that, but whatever. A complex, delicate handcraft brick ornament. The creator must have put great effort into processing the materials to avoid their work from rotting away completely over time. Door's here. Did you expect me to tell you this? Yes, I know, Vera. I'm just looking around. A phonograph. Hand crank can still be turned, but no response will come out of it. It must have been broken. Ooh. Wait, someone is watching. Ayo. Surveillance. We've been monitored by someone. Trying to find clues. Won't lie. Kind of reminded me of horror. Hey, look. Bunk beds are neat and tidy. Perhaps the children have been living in a relatively easy life? Okay. Oh, what? A broken construct. The construct is already broken and doesn't appear to pose any threat. Based on the identification on of the terminal, its modification surgery was done at around the age of 10. Although its frame is of a very old version, the construct looks completely different from the image the terminal displayed, which indicates illegal modification. They have something in their bellies. Big teddy bear. There's a broken surveillance device in the belly of the bear. A camera and a bear. Okay. Horse can still be used despite the solid scratches on it. Okay. Oh god. Horror. Oh god. Oh god. Horror time. Oh god. Creepy dolls. Scanner frame. Let's see if there's anything unusual about the bookshelf first. Do police play up missions? Needs admin, okay. Okay. Don't know what I'm looking for, but okay. Oh. Broken memory data. Should be make it more consistent. Okay. Okay. Let's see what... Hmm. Oh. Okay. Something's missing. Hmm. Judging from the 4 square marks on the carpet, something must have been placed here for a long time. Okay. Common 4-legged stool knocked over by someone. Okay. Pendulum seems to be stuck, but the hands are still movable. On the side of the pendulum clock is a schedule. 7 to 7:30, get up. 7:30 to 12, blank. 12 to 14 to 2 o'clock, afternoon. 14 to 16:00, group games. 16:00 to 22, blank. 22 to 7, night rest. There's another schedule under it. Removing the one on top will ruin it. Just keep it as it is. Maybe night rest? I don't know. Oh. Time to rest, sleep on time. Oh god. Oh god. Resume data recovery. Group games, okay. Oh god, okay. Let's see. Let's see what's going on. Good children pick up tidy toys, others become tidy children. Naughty children will be punished. Oh god. Okay. A stool, okay. Good time. Oh god. Here we go. A secret, huh? A secret, eh? That's it? Data recovery complete. Alright, let's go. Okay then. Oh, I've never seen that from symbol before. Ooh. Cage of another world. Oh. Wonder what that means. No. Start from the beginning? Something related experience, looking deeper. Fix the tab like she did earlier. With the external memory module. But a minute, stop if any error occurs. Yes, mistress. Alright, let's load the data. Enter recovery space? Okay. It doesn't match? Okay, what the heck? Oh boy. Oh god. Ghost. Bark model. Okay. So I guess I have to switch stuff up. A phonograph, okay. Ceramic handcraft vase, okay. Vase. Okay, so we're supposed to place the vase down, okay. Got Okay, let's go. Footsteps? Oh god. Where is it? Ah, there it is. There's an architectural blueprint. Singing. Oh god. Something's behind her. Oh god. Come to mother? Oh boy. Yeah. There we go. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god, horror! Run! Oh shit. Oh fuck. Oh boy. Oh god. Oh shit. Abnormal data, what the hell? Come on, attack me. Or not. Okay. That was creepy. Now I'm curious. Oh. Okay. Now that makes sense. Okay, it's harder. Okay. Sunken consciousness. Oh boy. Mistress? Bambinata opens her eyes, but Vanessa's not around her as expected. There's no record of the room she is in or how she's traveled here in her memory data. Has someone moved her physically while she is trapped inside the abnormal data? Is Mistress safe then? Oh, the music? Oh, the music. I can tell the music about to go off. Unlike carrying out a solo mission, being separated from Mistress has sent Bambinata's mind into a panic. Has Mistress decided to leave Bambinata here because Bambinata was performing poorly? To confirm her Mistress's status and quell her doubts, Bambinata tries to send a message to Vanessa's terminal. Only then does she realize that some kind of interference is hindering her from controlling her frame. Forcing herself to calm down, Bambinata inspects her surroundings. This is a large hall. Unlike the rooms they searched, candles, lamps, fire, small light sources light up parts of the area, forming an incoherent picture. Failing to enhance her visual module by increasing the computing power, Bambinata can only search for a way out in the spots that are lit up. Baby sis is awake, mother. Dodie? Oh god. Dodie? What the hell? Struggling to enter a battle stance, Bambinata does not expect another mechanoid dressed as a caretaker to appear behind her. The shadow of the mechanoid cast is so large that it fully envelops Bambinata. Child, become my child. Oh god. Good children must become family. Doris, Doti, together. A corrupted? That can't be. Bambinata isn't detecting a high concentration of the punishing virus. An uninfected mechanoid in an early experimental construct. Doris, you must answer mother properly. Otherwise, you'll become one of the naughty children. As your older sister, I don't want you to become a naughty child. It'll break mother's heart and mine. What the hell? Naughty children require punishments. Oh god. Looks creepy as hell. Good children become family, Doris. Oh god. Oh. Lord, that's creepy. This is some like Resident Evil type thing, man. This is like some Resident Evil. Yeah, this is like some Resident Evil type beat. I won't lie. Resident Evil type stuff, man. The caretaker mechanoid wraps her arms around Bambinata, her hand caressing Bambinata's chin. Recalling how her mistress often takes time to carefully maintain her frame, Bambinata desperately wants to get away from the unfamiliar hand, knowing full well where she belongs. Mistress named me Bambinata. No one can alter that. She tries to send another message, but the transmission disappears into the ether, as if falling into a pit. Doris doesn't need others. You're wrong. Mistress's commands are Bambinata's purpose. Doris doesn't follow rules. Oh god. The punishing virus? How? Her words are interrupted by an intense pain from her invert device, as if giant spikes are being nailed into her skull. Bambinata cannot think or compute. She can barely feel her invert device running. The virus tears her consciousness into pieces, sinking them into the pit at the bottom of her mind. Oh god. The plummet devours all her senses, blinding and deafening her. In her deep mind, she finds no trace of pain or worry. Cocoons slowly rise sparsely inside the infinite darkness, their number gradually growing. They slowly surround Bambinata, hovering where she can easily reach, seemingly inviting her to catch them. She pokes one near her, and the cocoon bursts, the unfamiliar memory data inside enveloping Bambinata. Since the preparation for the adoption started, Bambinata has been removed from the experiments and maintained by a specific researcher. Oh, Corono, huh? Alright, thanks for hanging around, Eliana. Real hope you enjoyed it. Have a good nap. Glad you hung out with us today. The person adopting you is a renowned doctor. His wife used to work with us too. With their help, maybe you'll stop forgetting these things one day. Oh, thank you. Thank you. You didn't say that, but thank you a lot. Thank you for the compliment. I really appreciate it. Thanks. Appreciate the comment. Compliment. Bambinata will stop forgetting? That's right. You won't suddenly forget who you are and what you're supposed to do. That's okay, because all of you will be there to remind Bambinata. Will people stop taking care of Bambinata if Bambinata starts remembering things? Life is very long, longer still for a construct. You will inevitably run into something you have to handle alone. If you can remember, you can survive on your own. Why do I even bother? You won't understand. No, actually. I actually commissioned an artist to make it. I can't draw for crap, I'll be honest. I can't draw to save my life, I'll be honest. Best I can draw is stick figures. Yeah. Life is very long, longer still for a construct. You will inevitably run into something you have to handle alone. If you can remember, you can survive on your own. Why do I even bother? You won't understand. Alright, see you soon. Hope to see you next stream. Take care of yourself too, Eliana. My bad. I keep mispronouncing your name. At least your future parents are on Babylonia. Chances are you won't end up like the experimental constructs here, spending your whole life being studied until you're discarded. Then what should Bambinata do? What should he do? You should be a good girl and behave. But why does Nessa still hate Bambinata? I hate you! Mother and father have been spending all their time with you ever since you arrived. I said I don't want a sister. Are they trying to replace me with you? Is it because I don't behave well? Or because I didn't get first place during the last exam? But I tried my best. Everyone else is getting third place. Said getting third place was very impressive. Liars. Vanessa starts mumbling until she crouches down and sobs. Even someone like Nessa, who's loved and well cared for, is also scared of losing her place. She's also scared of becoming worthless if she loses her purpose, just like Bambinata. Perhaps somehow catching some resemblances of herself in Vanessa, Bambinata recalls how her mother strokes her hair and reaches for Vanessa's head carefully. What are you doing? I don't need your pity. Sorry, Bambinata just thought it would make you feel better. Although she cannot tell, Vanessa fell for sure. Bambinata reaches out again, seeing that Vanessa has stopped scolding her. Do Mother and Father hate me? Of course not. They even mentioned earlier that they wanted to make you a great doctor someday. Mother said that as long as the experiments on Bambinata make progress, she can unlock the secrets of the mind and the invert device with Father, and that would bring you a bright future. Bambinata never wanted to steal Mother and Father away from you. Bambinata is only here because of the value she can provide. Bambinata is only needed to secure your future. Bambinata exists for you, Nessa. Is that so? But I don't know anything about the mind device something. Hold on, were you just bragging about spending a whole day with Mother and Father? That's not what Bambinata meant. Forget it. Pinky promised that you won't tell anyone about me crying today. Looking at the pinky figure Vanessa has extended, Bambinata does not know how to react. You don't know how to pinky promise? How stupid. Vanessa grabs Bambinata's hand, and the soft human finger shakes the mechanical pinky. Cross my heart and hope to die. Stick a needle in my eye. Alright, you've made a promise now, so you can't say anything. You hear me, Bambinata? Bambinata won't say anything, Nessa. If she recalls correctly, that is the first time Vanessa calls Bambinata by her name. Her artificial skin can still feel the unfamiliar touch. After this strange ritual, Bambinata makes a note to herself in secret not to break a promise she has made to Vanessa. Oh no, we have to clean up the broken frame or we're going to get an earful. Go grab a vacuum cleaner. Okay. Her memories are bluntly cut off there and then. The clear visual slowly fade back to the silent darkness. Bambinata's consciousness returns to the void, and the many data cocoons once again gather around her. Data cocoons. Is the amnesia the reason they are splintered into coherent pieces? With a newfound expectation, Bambinata touches a second cocoon, and another memory begins to play. Activation successful. Look at your mother's fingers, Bambinata. Alright, the visual module is working. She's conscious. How are you feeling, Bambinata? Any discomfort or strange sensations? Who are you? We are your parents. Your name is Bambinata. Something went wrong with you and your mother, and now we're trying to find out why you're sick. Bambinata? The girl is seemingly used to this kind of situation. Not showing any fear, Bambinata quietly repeats what she has been told. How's the chip running? It's running fine. I'm taking a data snapshot and keeping it on file. You may feel a little heat behind your head in a second, Bambinata. It's perfectly normal. Okay. Don't worry. We're just... Oh, I can't speak. Don't worry. We're trying to insert a chip that will help you store your memory data. Just behave and don't move. The data snapshot is done. Here. The efficiency of this chip can still be greatly optimized. The results are quite a ways from our expectations, even for a prototype. Our previous tests were focusing on her mind stability. Developing the memory chip was an impromptu decision. The simulated model was quite far off from our base data to begin with. The experiment results they sent weren't complete, which must have affected the simulation. We'll iterate on it as we go. It just needs to help collect data now. We should focus on solving the more important problem. We've also figured out why her frame shuts down. It was a programming conflict left behind from a previous test, and that has been fixed. Let's call it a day. We'll let her frame run with the chip for a while and see how it goes. Here, Bambinata, stand up. Having put back the tools and equipment, Petra opens the door to the laboratory to find a startled Vanessa standing outside. The girl immediately pretends she is just walking past. Nessa, shouldn't you be doing your homework right now? I finished today's homework already, Father. Can't you do more then? See, break time is still 20 minutes away. Your problem is you never have any initiative. The Smith boy was already recognized as a genius when he was your age. Oh. I know who that is. Your mother is right, Nessa. You shouldn't be wandering around when you should be studying. I'm not wandering about. Vanessa wants to clarify something, but in the end she just lowers her head silently. Right, Bambinata needs to overwrite her data on you. Bambinata, this is your sister Vanessa. Overwrite? Vanessa does not seem to understand the word, and Petra and Raymond do not appear to intend to explain it. Bambinata can see Vanessa observing her with confusion, hoping for an answer. To find an answer. Hello, Nessa. You don't remember me? Sorry. That's fantastic. I don't need your apology. With that, Vanessa runs back to her room. Did Bambinata say something wrong? That's Vanessa. I never know what she's up to next. If only she was as well behaved as you. I wonder when she'll understand that everything we're doing is for her future. Bambinata carefully considers Petra's words. If everything her parents do is for Vanessa, Bambinata should obviously give everything for her sister as well. Being a well-behaved daughter. But the way Vanessa looks at her, did she do something wrong in the past? It's almost lunchtime. You can rest on the sofa. Oh, my bad. Yes, Mother. Despite not being tired, Bambinata still follows Petra's instructions and sits squarely on the sofa. Petra prepares lunch and calls the rest of the family to the dining table, one by one. Raymond slowly walks down from the second floor and sits on a dining chair. He's still obsessed with his calculations, his fingers writing something on the table. Petra knocks 3 times before Vanessa comes out of her room unwillingly, intentionally avoiding looking at Bambinata. Bambinata, constructs don't have to eat. Noticing Petra entering the room, Bambinata sits up even more straight. Okay. You can walk around the house while we eat, or rest on the sofa if you're tired. Understood. Bambinata will sit right here. Alright then, once Vanessa is done with your lunch, you can both take a nap together. Although you're not at the point where you need to power down, there is no harm to sufficient rest. Keeping a similar resting schedule to Vanessa will get you two familiarized quicker. You're sisters now, after all. With that, Petra pats Bambinata on the shoulder and turns around, heading toward the dining table. Watching Petra leave, Bambinata notices Vanessa stealing a glance at her, but Vanessa turns away immediately, realizing Bambinata is watching. Vanessa seems to dislike Bambinata. Bambinata must not do anything else she despises starting today. Realizing that, Bambinata looks away. Lunch does not last long. Vanessa returns to her room after the meal, while Bambinata still sits in the same corner of the sofa. Only when Petra finishes putting away the cutlery does Bambinata leave, having received a command to nap in the bedroom. Outside the light gray door to the bedroom is a magnetic decoration with Vanessa's name. Knowing that she is about to step into a space that once only belonged to one person, Bambinata holds onto the doorknob nervously. She enters the room with the slightest movement possible, and she finds a duvet all crumpled up in the middle of the giant bed. As Bambinata wonders where to lie down, Vanessa rolls to one side of the bed and from underneath the duvet, leaving the other side empty. Bambinata slows down her motion to avoid disturbing Vanessa. Right as she gets near the bed, Vanessa suddenly sits up, startling her. Can you lie down already? Why are you so slow? Vanessa turns around and lies down after that. After receiving permission, Bambinata lies down in a good posture where Vanessa moved away from. Right before she enters sleep mode, Vanessa throws a corner of the duvet towards her, covering Bambinata. Cover your tummy or you'll catch a cold. Didn't Mother tell you? A good girl like you couldn't have forgotten about it already, could you? Mother hasn't told Bambinata about this yet. Perhaps it's because constructs can't catch a cold? Whatever, just cover yourself. Of course, it's done, Nessa. Vanessa does not turn around to check. Instead just acknowledges Bambinata's words with a hum. Bambinata somehow gets the impression that Vanessa is a little bit more at ease. Recognizing that, her tensed body also relaxes miraculously. Why does she feel this way? Her existence is to be commanded. Bambinata requires guidance. But unlike the instructions Bambinata received in the past from others, Vanessa's harsh words seem to hide something softer underneath. Bambinata holds onto the soft duvet as though it is the subtle shade that lies beyond Vanessa's words. You don't remember me? Sorry. Stop apologizing. I just want to figure out what's going on. Father and Mother only said that they had put something inside Bambinata to help Bambinata remember. Bambinata doesn't recall the rest. You're not scared? Scared? Perhaps she was scared in the beginning, but that is no longer an emotion this frame holds. Throughout the cycles of resets, Bambinata has learned that as long as she can find someone to give her purpose, she will know where to go and how to act, and that takes away the fear. It's okay. Father and Mother will tell Bambinata what Bambinata should do. So will you, Nessa. I don't have time to tell you anything. Ugh! Look at the time. We've got half an hour before we have to wake up. Go to sleep, quickly. Okay, Bambinata will remember that. You can't remember a thing even after you made a pinky promise. Right as Bambinata enters her sleep, Vanessa seems to mumble something by her side. But before she can figure out what Vanessa said, Bambinata's consciousness once again fades to black. Okay. Damn, that's rough, dude. 308. Let's go. Time to game. Ooh, only Vera this time. Okay. Let me get this straight, Dollface. Dollface just terminated a deep mind connection before running off without you? The redhead construct strikes like a burning blade, cutting down her enemies without hesitation. She even has time to inquire how Vanessa and Bambinata separated between moments of fighting. There must have been some kind of interference. She wouldn't have been able to act without receiving command otherwise. We have to find her quickly. Don't you see that I'm already clearing the enemies? Vanessa gives Vera the stink eye before pulling up the architectural blueprint she recovered from the security room to plan the route ahead. She did not have the time to inspect it this closely before. Underneath their floor is a blurred gray area. There are no remarks on what it is for or how to enter it. If this building was intended as a normal charity originally, the Corona must have built a series of research-related facilities after gaining control of it for their experiments. They never found any laboratory-like facilities on their way here, which means the gray area is probably where they are located. Although she does not know how Bambinata is getting interference, whatever is affecting Bambinata must be related to the structure's past. Chances are she will find Bambinata in the gray area too. Discovering how to enter there during their search may be the key to finding Bambinata and completing the recovery objective. What about the security cameras? Have you looked into them? Of course, whoever they are, they've tampered with the cameras already. Don't you have some way to communicate without your terminals on occasions like this? Some sort of code word or sound she makes or some markers she could have left behind? I shouldn't be surprised that the Cerberus prefers such primitive methods. My apologies, Your Highness, but technologies aren't as reliable as our primitive ways sometimes, like right now. And I just remembered making a bad deal with Dollface back then. I don't have to rescue her if something goes wrong. You dare disobey my orders? I guess I could consider taking care of the two puppies you left behind, but when you're court-martialed. Did I say anything about retreating with you? Aren't you a bit optimistic with treating me as your safety net when you're tasked to monitor me? Monitor you? What are you talking about? Vera kicks the enemy in front of her away before quickly dashing behind Vanessa, blocking an ambush on the unaware commandant. How did I miss that? Look at me being careless. Forget what I just said. I think I misunderstood something about you two. Enough chit-chat. I'm done playing now. Here's hoping that you won't slow me down. Oh. Okay. Let's go.
Not good enough.
Trying to stall for me? Okay, bro. There we go. Bro, this is so bad. That construct, don't let him run away. I know. Infighting? Shh, don't alert them yet. The construct seems to be getting punished. Because he ran away? If he retained such a strong will to survive, he may not have lost his mind completely. What are you trying to say? If he's somehow still sane, we can simply make him to spit out where the doll face is exactly. Your strategy is really... Let's capture him alive. Hey, I should be the commandant. Hey, it should be the commandant to give orders. Ooh. Excellent. It won't hurt you if you can answer a few questions. Where's the little blue and white dressed doll now? Group. Game time. You've got the nerve. Hold on, let's split up here. You go after him. I'll head back to the security room and see if there are any more clues about those constructs' intentions. Suit yourself. If you're so confident that you can protect yourself on your own, keep this to yourself. If you need help, just yell for me. I can't miss this scene. I'll give you one last shot. Okay. Ooh, minigame. Hey, yeah. Okay, so the blue bug will explode if you step on the right grid in front of it. Okay, red bug will explode. Step on the right grid in front of it. Black bug will explode. Okay. Good children will stay on guard, while naughty children will fail through times will be punished by mother tonight. Okay, what the hell? Game rules, what do they have to do with my question? Too bad you've wasted your last chance. Begging for life, or... leading the way? I better follow him. The game he mentioned before. Is it some kind of procedural behavior among these constructs? Footsteps, as expected. It was stalling for time. Fair enough. But time to play my game. The ones who lose the moment they get cut down. Oh, damn.
Not good enough.
Have fun, shall we? Meet Vanessa, okay. Have you found any clues? Almost all cameras were shut off. But I managed to find a clip from about 15 minutes ago. I'm syncing it to your terminal now. Sync completed. Surveillance footage, huh? Those constructs were heading in the same direction before they disappeared. That's the direction toward the end of the living room. This is where they disappeared. Under the carpet must be a hidden door. I've got this. Damn. If your blade had gone just a bit more to the right, you'd be facing a court-martial afterward. Accidents won't exist if they don't happen. Let's go. Wait, before that, we should investigate all the unchecked rooms. It's possible that Bambinata didn't act as we deduced. If all those constructs were really down there like the camera showed, they could have overwhelmed us. Our situation would be even more dire if Bambinata isn't there. Not to mention circling back to find her will require more time and effort. Fine, let's get going. There. Let's not waste any time. We'll start with the room on the left. Let's go. Vanessa turns her gaze away from a corner of the room. Vera can glance from the corner of her eyes that Vanessa is still obsessed with the ballet shoes they found. True, though. But if Vanessa doesn't want to talk about it, Vera does not bother to offer her a therapy session. Instead, she pretends she's not noticed anything. Since you were busy helping Father with his research today, I'll show you the moves you missed just this once. Don't you laugh at me if I look terrible. I'm warning you. Bambinata won't. Thank you, Nessa. Bambinata nods with a pen and paper in her hands like a dutiful student. I'm only doing this so I don't cringe at how silly you'd otherwise be next time. Without letting Bambinata respond, Vanessa quickly taps the terminal and plays the practice music that the teacher played earlier today. She stands on her toes as the music plays, her hands moving in the air just enough to stir the curtains by the window. The sunlight shines through the silk onto Vanessa, looking gentle and soft on the dancing girl. Oh, my bad. Wrong button. Bambinata suddenly has the image of an egret trapped in a glass cage. Even when it cannot escape, it refuses to be any less elegant and proud. Pirouette, passe, reverence, the beauty that extends beyond the boundary of this room stops abruptly as Vanessa turns the music off. That's about it. They didn't teach anything too complicated in the first session. Have you remembered the moves? Vanessa leans in to check Bambinata's notes, only to find them completely empty. Bambinata, you didn't jot down anything. Bambinata has recorded the way you danced in her mind. Sure you do. I gave you the notebook because we'd both know you'd forget things eventually. I'm going to change my clothes. Go review the moves. When Vanessa comes back to the bedroom in her casual clothing, she finds Bambinata spacing out towards where she was dancing. Bambinata is staring at the sunlit spot, and Vanessa finds the solemn expression on Bambinata's childlike face, inevitably funny. Approaching Bambinata quietly, Vanessa sees herself drawn on the paper in Bambinata's hands. In the drawing, she's dancing alone in the bright, spacious room, her eyes closed as sunlight showers over the quiet scene. Feeling as if something is missing, Bambinata hesitantly sketches a shorter figure next to Vanessa. Then her pen stops. The blank figure formed by a few rough circles and lines is filled with pointless dots. I told you to review the moves. Why on earth are you drawing? Never mind that. What even is that mess? That person. Bambinata hasn't figured it out yet. Bambinata hasn't figured out what the person standing next to you should look like. The person standing next to her? Sometimes Vanessa has no idea what Bambinata is thinking. But seeing how clueless Bambinata looks, how can Vanessa allow her to make a fool of herself? What do I do with you? Fine, start practicing the basics with me. You can never go wrong with the fundamentals. Here, help me unroll this mat. Bambinata puts down her pen and paper as told. What Vanessa does not know is that Bambinata has already placed the blank figure deep inside her heart. Oh. Figure in the mirror. It has been a very long time since an external force stirred up these forgotten waters. Fragments of memories have been abandoned in this place, but there's never been a way to connect them. These hidden pearls in the ocean depths can finally be retrieved by their owner because of a coincidental encounter. Alright, one more time from the top. 5, 6, 7, 8. Nora, keep it straight. No, you're still bending it. Lock it tight. You're doing wrong too, Jenny. Alright, stop it. Bambinata, come here. Demonstrate to your classmates. Yes, miss. Look carefully, you lot. Bambinata is the most accurate one among you. Pay attention to the details in her wrist movement. The music she has familiarized in her mind plays again, and Bambinata closes her eyes, her body moving elegantly according to the melody. Even though this dance is only a combination of 12 basic moves, Bambinata still manages to turn it into a seemingly carefully choreographed dance. As the song ends, Bambinata's body returns to its original position. Following the last note, she opens her eyes as if a puppet is brought to life once more. Brilliant, Bambinata. You can go back now. The teacher gently pats Bambinata on the back, her eyes filled with recognition and affection. This is the first construct student she has taught in her whole career. Petra specifically mentioned to her how special Bambinata was before the girl even stepped into the classroom. Still, even a teacher like her had to take a while before she accepted Bambinata and stopped seeing the girl as someone strange, and it took her longer still to discover Bambinata's aptitude in ballet. Not to mention how many times she had to spend beyond the classes to guide the other students, all curious about Bambinata and talk about the construct girl privately. I told you all in the first session that the great ballet dancers you see don't just get their fundamentals right. The aura and soul they bring to the ballet are equally important. This is the last session this term, and I want to remind you that your practice doesn't stop at repeating the moves. Familiarize yourselves with music, and spend time making those details in your movement more elegant. Alright, one more time before class is dismissed. In 5, 6, 7, 8. After the practice is over, the teacher gives each student specific notes about what they can work on before they leave. In the end, Vanessa and Bambinata are the only ones left. I'm proud of you, Vanessa. You improve a lot every session. Your fundamentals are one of the best in the class. What I'll recommend, however, is to listen to music more. Not to remember the melody, but to enjoy it and discover what you want to express through your movement. And you, Bambinata, I know that you have some physical disadvantages, but I still believe that you are meant for ballet. Keep at it if it's possible, yeah? Alright, get changed and go home. Don't forget to close the door when you're gone, okay? The teacher waves goodbye and leaves the classroom with files in her hands. Are you also practicing for 2 extra hours a day, Nessa? I'll let you know when we're done practicing. Vanessa knows that she cannot let up even with the teacher's approval. Be the one who is worth the most. Right now, Vanessa cannot surpass Bambinata in the teacher's mind, no matter how much she has improved. Sighing, Vanessa grabs the bar and starts practicing from position 1. Meanwhile, Bambinata watches Vanessa's every move like always. Hey, I have a question for you. Yes? Do you have any secret tricks? Secret tricks? Bambinata looks a little confused before shaking her head after some thoughts. You must have a way to dance better, don't you? Bambinata never thought about that. Bambinata, are you hiding something from me? You must find it funny that I have to stoop so low to ask you, don't you? I was the one who showed you the moves originally, and now it's the opposite. That's not it. Bambinata won't keep anything from you, Nessa. It's just that, no one ever asked Bambinata about her progress. Maybe it's because Bambinata is a construct? That's what I thought, which is why I've been practicing the fundamentals way more than you. But the teacher just said you're just meant for ballet, even beyond your physical capabilities. So what is going on through your mind when you dance? What are you thinking about when the teacher asks you to demonstrate just them? Rhythm? Nothing. She does not think about techniques deliberately. She just follows the ebb and flow of the music and pursues the sunlit figure dancing in her mind. What? You don't recall the moves in order? Bambinata doesn't. How dare you dance better than me then? Ugh, it pisses me off. Wait a minute, you can't be. Do you like ballet, Bambinata? Before Bambinata can respond, Vanessa comes up with her conclusion for Bambinata, as if she needs it to be the correct answer. That must be it. Otherwise, how can you dance better than I do? Can't believe you like ballet. No wonder you're a bit better dancer than someone like me who hates it. With that, Vanessa stops speaking and starts practicing again. Is that so? Does Bambinata like ballet? What does liking something look like? And who does Bambinata like ballet? Who makes Bambinata like ballet? It is not an unfamiliar word, but Bambinata has never used it before. Bambinata tries to search for things she likes from the available memory data in her mind, but this detached observation cannot help her fully understand the term. And since she cannot find the memory data of her being commanded to like something, the search results are giving her anxiety. Panic. Bambinata looks at Vanessa's reflection in the mirror, and behind Vanessa stands the motionless self. Bambinata starts to look closely at her own body in the mirror for the first time. Is that the expression when one likes something? She does not look different from how she normally looks. Is that something she can do without being commanded? She does not know. Will liking ballet fill up the blank figure in her heart? Bambinata cannot answer for sure. Three days later. You can't even get first place in an extracurricular activity like this? Tell me, how can you possibly distinguish yourself from others in the future? I don't want to be a dumb ballet dancer anyway. Look at the world you're living in. You don't get to do what you want only. I sent you to ballet classes so that you can have extra talent and a talking point when you go into the world and meet others. Every child of someone who's somebody on Babylonia holds a handful of these bargaining chips. Your father and I spent so much time and effort on your future, just so your bargaining chips are worth a little bit more. You are not a child anymore, Vanessa. When will you learn? I sent Bambinata with you just to keep you company. Now the teacher says that Bambinata is the most talented one in the class. Petra sighs heavily as she says that. Bambinata stands nearby with her head lowered, avoiding looking at anyone if she has done something wrong. As if she has done something wrong. I wonder why we even bother. The teacher said I improved a lot last time. Didn't she mention that? What use is that? Improvement is just a way to console the mediocre students. The excellent ones can always demonstrate their worth in the end and convince everyone. Receiving words of encouragement simply means that you showed what you showed wasn't impressive enough. But the teacher approved of me, and you said this is just an extracurricular activity. You still don't get it, Vanessa. Perhaps your life here is too comfortable. Do you know what the outside world looks like? You got turned into a machine if you're lucky, and your days are numbered if you're not. The only reason you can grow up on Babylonia is because of what this family is worth. The same applies to you. If you want to live a relatively safe life in the future, you have to be worth your privileges. Doing scientific research, like your father and I, is the safest route. You don't have to face the danger on the front line, and your research can bring you fame and fortune. Socialize with people with high status during public events. When you need it, you can transfer the values they bring to the table onto you. Just remember this. Only a good outcome justifies the journey. Otherwise, it's just wasted opportunity cost. Vanessa cannot find a better way to rebut her mother, so she stays silent, keeping what she wanted to say to herself. The opening door breaks the silence in the room. Raymond finally has a day off, having been away for his research for a long time. I'm back, eh? Petra briefly explains the results Vanessa and Bambinata got from ballet classes. Nessa, I told you to stop calling me that last time, father. Stop treating me like a child. Raymond has missed a lot of Vanessa's childhood due to his work. He may not understand why his daughter stops wanting to be called her pen name, but then again, that is not a subject within the purview of his study. More often than not, he allocates the problems in the family to the person in charge of it, Petra. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. So, I understand what happened more or less. You said we didn't listen to what you wanted in the past, Vanessa. If you're saying you don't want to do ballet anymore, you don't have to. Isn't that a whole term wasted? Even if we have to adjust our research direction if it's heading down the wrong path, don't we? There are other options beyond ballet. What about Bambinata? Bambinata? She'll join you on whatever you're doing next. But the teacher said she's meant for ballet. Aren't you happy that she got first place? Vanessa hesitates for 2 seconds. Remembering how Bambinata looked dancing in the classroom, she quietly voices her hypothesis. And Bambinata likes ballet. A well-behaved child such as Bambinata was only following her parents' wishes. Petra's words are a simple statement, but she still turns towards Bambinata, awaiting her compliant response. Bambinata understands that her place should be decided by the person in charge of the family, but what she should do is clashing with Vanessa's expectations. Bambinata wavers for a brief moment before making what she believes is the right choice. Yes, mother. Then it is decided. Go to rest, kids. Petra, I have a research model I want you to inspect. The adults start heading towards the laboratory, discussing things like the children do not understand. But the gloominess in the room does not dissipate just because their parents are gone. Why didn't you say you like ballet? Bambinata can't be sure. Despite being fully prepared for a fierce Vanessa, Bambinata's voice still shakes as she speaks. I'm so annoyed with you right now. Did Bambinata say something wrong? What's wrong is that you've done nothing wrong. Bambinata tries her best to understand what Vanessa is saying. What other options does she have except for doing the right thing? Fantastic. Now you don't get to dance. Father and mother might have let you continue if you would just tell them you liked it. The teacher said you're meant for it after all. What about you, Nessa? Me, I'm not meant for it, so I have to try something else. Next time, I'll get first place. Then Bambinata will also... Here you go again. Do you want to stick with me, or are you going to do... Or are you only doing so because our parents make you? Isn't there a difference between them? Seeing how angry Vanessa looks, Bambinata quickly nods and answers. Bambinata wants to stay with you, Nessa. I can't understand you. You would sacrifice what you like for this? Anyway, I won't lose next time. Remember that. Bambinata will remember it. Feeling the pressure around Vanessa slowly fading away, Bambinata smiles, not realizing it. Damn, dude. Alright, 310. Gate. Despite discovering the path to the underground facility, Vanessa and Vera cannot guarantee that Bambinata will be there. Just to be safe, they are still checking every room on their way, searching for any sign of her. The sensation of loss overwhelms Vanessa once again. She cannot believe how quickly another puppet is missing after Teasel. She knows that Bambinata will not follow Teasel's path, but the anxiety that is built up inside of her has reached a fever pitch. Open the door, search, close the door. The old doors creak as they are turned as if whispering to Vanessa, the dream she does not want to revisit. Vanessa can remember a door that is louder than any door when it's closed. Are you asleep, Nessa? Perhaps Bambinata can sense how Vanessa is feeling. Perhaps she just notices how different Vanessa's breathing sounds tonight. I can't hide anything from you now, can I? Are you still bothered by what Father and Mother said? Do you think that a person can have no talent at all, Bambinata? Is it because I didn't work hard enough every time? Vanessa failed the laboratory assistant selection by one place. Raymond had to use his status so that there happened to be an extra position. Furious, Petra made Vanessa study at home for a month to not embarrass herself again. Damn, what shitty parents, bro. Not gonna lie. Parents are kinda shitty, not gonna lie. Bambinata knows how much time and effort you spent, Nessa. Doesn't matter how much time I spend if I have no talent. Remember ballet? You were just there waiting for me every time I practiced. You don't need to repeat the basics over and over again like a fool the way I did. Do you want to work in the laboratory, Nessa? Mother said that she would keep you away from the difficult and dangerous work. Isn't that good? I'm even less talented in this than I was in ballet. Vanessa finally turns around and smiles self-mockingly at Bambinata. I would just be in people's way. Being the talentless hack that I am, I can't help laughing at how funny I'd look, doing my best and still falling behind. That's not true, you just haven't found what you like, Nessa. Not wanting Vanessa to belittle herself, Bambinata quickly comes to her defense. According to what Vanessa once said, the reason she has not gotten what she wanted must be because she does not like it enough. More than ever before, Bambinata traces the vulnerability in Vanessa's eyes, hoping to support her statement with her own earnest gaze. Perhaps she has tried too hard, so much that it makes Vanessa chuckle. You're the only one who'd listen to me. Think that I fought like hell to keep you away from this house when I was young. Bambinata, if I want to go and find something that I'm meant for, will you support me? Bambinata will support you. Bambinata will support you no matter what you want to do, Nessa. No more words are needed between them. Vanessa hands Bambinata the headphone in her left ear. The music playing becomes two, echoing in the two drastically different hearts. Aww. A few days later. What, you don't want to go to the lab? I don't. Vanessa is not trying to avoid her parents' gazes. Unlike Bambinata, Vanessa does not look like the child she was anymore. She's at the age when she wants to act according to her own will. How can the younger explorer step away from the predetermined destination if the old guides will not let go of the flag that shows the way? That's not going to happen. Do you know how many people your father contacted for you, Vanessa? Any idea how many times I had to put on a smile and nod the last few days? Nessa, I told you to stop calling me that. You aren't acting rationally right now, and you're breaking your parents' hearts. You need to know that the path we laid for you is the correct one. But I can't give you what I want in return. I'm no genius. I hate the work. I can't get the results I want, and the efforts and time I'll spend are pointless. Why shouldn't I do something I'm actually good at? Don't you also want me to to deliver exceptional results? You're no genius. You hate it? Who do you think you are? The world doesn't spin around you. But I must have the right to explore the world myself, don't I? Let's say you manage to find something you're good at and like all by yourself. What makes you think that you can keep doing it? Petra stands up from the sofa, her lips slightly trembling. Who do you think it is that has made you give up my projects and degrees? If I could continue my research with your father back then, what I'm studying now won't be how to keep in contact with all the other rich housewives. You've grown wings, and now you could think you could fly, huh? Have you ever wondered whose feathers were plucked to build the warm nest you grew up in? Petra's voice gets louder and louder, her discontent filling the whole living room, seemingly shaking everything in the space. Vanessa, listen. Stop making your mother angry. Are you just mad because we grounded you for a month? How about taking a break with Bambinata for 3 days before going back to work? How does that sound? Raymond pulls Bambinata towards Vanessa, gesturing for her to talk her sister down. Bambinata holds Vanessa's hands gently, and Vanessa looks more determined than ever. So you're just hoping that I'll become another you, mother? Just want to puppet me around so I can achieve the dreams you gave up? You're a project lead, father, so you can bark orders in the lab without asking about all the mindless details. But this isn't your lab. This is your home. How old do you think I am? Have you ever listened to what I have to say from the times I disrupted your project development? Fine, frankly, I have something funny I must ask. But I bet you have never thought about it. Does either of you really love me? Do you love me? The question is deafening in its weight, but all Bambinata can hear is the quiver in Vanessa's voice. As the most insignificant person in the room, Bambinata clutches Vanessa's hands tightly, hoping to send her whatever strength Bambinata can offer, little as it may be. I don't love you? Why else would I sacrifice so much for you and this family? Oh my god, Vanessa, how can you even ask that? No. Think you only love the part of me you deem worthy of love. I think you two only find the valuable part lovable. I've made up my mind. I'm leaving home and studying at the FOS Military Command College. I want to find my worth, the way I define it. A military school? You have no idea how dangerous it is. You're right. I've only read the descriptions for my terminal, but that doesn't mean I don't comprehend how dangerous my choice is. I want to see the world with my own eyes and decide what I should do with myself. Are you done acting out, Vanessa? See it with your own eyes. Decide yourself. You might not like to hear it, but a lab rat used in a military experiment understands the cruelty of war more than you. How are you going to decide anything? Do you think acting against your parents' will makes you a free adult? Or has schooling on your terminal made you realize you're meant for the military? You're not wrong, but I'm tired of feeling like a failing puppet under your control. How can you say that? This isn't control. We've carefully calculated and planned for your future. If you're genuinely hoping to contribute to the war effort, there are many paths the research can take, a lot of which are combat related. With our history and resources, you can easily make something significant. By then, everyone will recognize your contribution and remember your name. They will truly understand you and this perfect scientific cradle that develops you. Why don't you understand something so plainly obvious? So I don't get to decide what research, even if I obey and play scientist now. After all, the only path to the throne is the one you've paved. All there'll be is a gem on the crown. Our family's name is the one who wears it. Vanessa grabs Bambinata's hand and steps up. Never mind. I never expected you to truly understand what I'm saying, mother. I already signed the agreement on my terminal. Everything is ready. My first class at FOS starts in 4 days. My suitcase is almost packed as well. The last thing you should know is that Bambinata has agreed to come with me, so please tell me how to maintain and replace her memory chip. Vanessa, how disappointing you are. You're wasting away what you could be worth. I can't allow it. Bambinata, her project has hit a bottleneck right now. She can't go. I don't agree with what you've done, but there's no chance I'll let you take away such an important research subject. An important research subject? Has Bambinata been anything but an experimental subject you keep at home to the two of you? How wonderful that she can keep your daughter company while acting as a perfect, well-behaved role model. We've always treated Bambinata and you fairly. We never gave her any less all these years. Has Vanessa gotten these ridiculous ideas into your head too, Bambinata? Bambinata, I trust that you're still the good girl you were. You must know how hard your parents have worked on your experiment, right? How can you possibly think about leaving us and following Vanessa's foolhardy whims? Bambinata isn't one of your lab rats who exists just for your experiments. What does herself think? A question she's never confronted begins to surface within her body, weaved by metal and composites. The enormous mirror from the ballet classroom appears again, and Bambinata stares at the short and strange figure reflecting in it. Where does her self exist? In the mind, her metallic spine, or inside the memory chip? Bambinata carefully observes every part of the figure, trying to find herself in the parts that house it. Do you like ballet, Bambinata? Does she like it when she's only mimicking how the person she admired spun and danced? Bambinata, if I want to go and find something that I'm meant for, will you support me? Was she supporting Nessa because she wanted to use the following commands? She was used to following commands? You can't remember a thing even after you made a pinky promise. Does wanting to know what she has forgotten go against being a well-behaved daughter? Wanting to listen to the softer soul underneath the hardened shell? Wanting to stop every drop of tear from ever forming? Wanting to show her appreciation for all the hard work spent despite the lack of glowing results? But what should you do? You should be a good girl and behave. So, standing in the eye of the storm, Bambinata is surrounded by 3 people who are all confidently expecting the answer they want from her. And Bambinata's answer is silence. She has to behave, so the self that goes against it is wrong. Wanting to do it does not make it right. Although she no longer dares to return the gaze of the eyes she has admired for many days and nights, silence is still the only and closest answer Bambinata can give to a correct answer. Ha, see? No one would want to be with you the way you're acting now. Bambinata has always been more well-behaved than you since you were little, Vanessa. She knows to consider how we feel and what we do. Have you learned nothing from her all these years? Vanessa no longer responds. Quietly, she looks at Bambinata, who does not look up, as if she were not the one who were fighting and arguing. Vanessa gently lets go of her hand, and Bambinata's tiny palm slips away weightlessly. Even then, Bambinata keeps her head lowered. Vanessa looks away, smiling mockingly. Splendid. Frankly, I'm sick of having someone more annoying around me all the time. As for someone that I want to keep around, well, I just need to be powerful enough to take it by force. One day I will make it so that no one disobeys me. I'll return so then you can take a good look at my actual worth. With that, Vanessa returns to her bedroom for her suitcase before heading for the main door. Nessa, let her go! The automatic door slams shut violently. Bambinata lifts her hand instinctively, but she soon realizes that there's no one left to hold. Time gradually passes like a fair and a silent ruler. In the days ahead, the decisive one will pay for her choices. And the cowardly one will keep sinking in her confusion. The only difference is that once time fills the tiny memory chip with its void, all Bambinata can follow is the phantom of a phantom. Vanessa? Having completed the routine maintenance, Petra brings the reset Bambinata back to her bedroom to rest. Bambinata looks at the name outside the door and asks with uncertainty. Unlike her previous amnesia, this reset has all the data of Vanessa and Bambinata's memory chip overwritten by new daily events. Okay, dude, that's fucked. Okay, man. Okay, yeah, that's messed up, dude. Petra has anticipated many uncomfortable inconveniences as Bambinata continues to live in Vanessa's bedroom. Still, she's not completely erased all the traces of Vanessa from the house. I want to observe if Bambinata will have a unique feedback to the memory loss. That was the reason Petra gave. Vanessa is your sister. She is not a well-behaved person. She's no longer home. Vanessa. Bambinata chews over this strange but somehow familiar name, feeling like something is eager to leap out of her mind, but she has no way to connect to it. Go on, get some rest. Today's inspection took an extra 30 minutes, so you can rest for 2 hours. I'll wake you before your father returns. Petra closes the door after saying that. A giant white bed sits in the bedroom. Bambinata walks toward the side of the bed out of habit and lies down, doing her best not to cross an invisible line in the middle of the bed and occupy the spare space across. Why did she not sleep on the... Oh, my bad. My bad. Why did she not sleep on the side closer to the door? That should have been the more obvious approach. Before entering rest mode, she can see this question appearing in the darkness after she closes her eyes. She searches for a reason for her action with from her memory data to no avail. A curious and frightened feeling reverberates within Bambinata. She wants to find out why. Unprecedented courage drives her to sit up and deduce the shape of a phantom from the items in the room. Clothes, jewelry, perfume. Every object and every detail draw a clearer and clearer silhouette in her head, but she still has no clue about whose silhouette it is. This is not enough. What else? Her gaze turns to the bedside. Following an unexplainable instinct, she lifts the duvet away and finds a very small drawer that is often overlooked. Apart from collectibles she does not understand, there's also a stack of folded paper inside. Bambinata turns to the only page with a drawing and finds a young dancing girl from an unknown small figure, and an unknown small figure depicted on it. Sunlight, silken curtains, music, and elegant movement. Some fragments of memories briefly surface in Bambinata's mind, but disappear abruptly before she can lay her hands on them. She must not forget. She does not want to forget. She has to grab a hold of the remaining silhouette at least. Bambinata takes the pen from the drawer and tries her best to leave behind something before the phantom is forever gone. A few years later. Commandant, we've been standing here for 20 minutes. Did I let you speak? The construct shuts his mouth and shakes his head, taking a step back from Vanessa's side submissively. Vanessa puts the scratched keycard back into her pocket and knocks instead. Who is it? Petra's standardized smile freezes the moment she opens the door. Before the air between them turns suffocating, Vanessa gestures to the construct behind her, and he hands her a terminal with a document on it. Vanessa. This is a requisition order. According to the terms, the construct Bambinata is required to return to the task force with us and act as a backup member of the elite squad Egret. Petra's hand lets go of the doorknob, and she crosses her arms the way Vanessa remembers. No. You. Tell her the punishment for disobeying a military order. The construct soldier is about to speak when Petra interrupts her. No one in her family has applied for Bambinata to enlist. You have no right to take her away. I applied for her. Our construct isn't a combat unit. She's only here to assist with our research. I'm sure the decision makers in the army aren't foolish enough to recruit anyone without considering what they are capable of, right? Damn, dude. Don't you worry. The army is certainly capable of making sure that all soldiers are battle ready. You know full well what Bambinata should be doing, Vanessa, and you're still trying to take her away from here? I don't have to answer any of your questions except for the ones about the terms of the order. I've wondered a few times how it'd be when you finally come home. Perhaps you'd be more mature and sensible, I thought. But I was expecting too much from you, wasn't I? That said, you never fail to disappoint. Is the heartwarming reunion over? Noted and thank you, Miss Petra. Can my new teammate go with us now? Dr. Raymond is performing routine maintenance on her at the moment. You have to wait if you want to take her away. The family members also need time to farewell each other. Wait inside. I don't want my neighbors to think that something embarrassing has visited upon our family. Petra turns for the staircase, leaving Vanessa in the half-open door behind in the sun. Vanessa only leads the soldier behind her inside the house she has forsaken, when Petra completely vanishes behind the stairs. The sofa, the rug, the color of the lights, everything except the smell of the air freshener is as Vanessa remembers. This seems to be the first time the construct soldier enters the residential district. He stands there nervously, unable to keep himself from gawking at the decorations and furniture in the house. Wait here, don't walk around. Yes, Commandant. Vanessa walks toward the room that once belonged to her, and her name is still adhered to the door with magnets. One of the magnets is missing, but that appears to be the only mark time is left behind. Pushing open the door lightly, she is confronted by a familiar view. Even the artificial plants are the same as they used to look. Vanessa's fingertips gently glide past the large, comfortable bed, and she recalls how she struggled to sleep when she first went to college because of how hard the bed was. Will Bambinata struggle too? Constructs probably do not struggle over these kinds of things. Vanessa turns her gaze away from the snowy blankets and pulls open the secret drawer by the bed. A thin layer of dust has covered the interior of the drawer. Surprisingly, it must have been a while since it was last opened. Inside, she finds Bambinata's favorite hairpin in the past. The bow tie Vanessa did not like and gave Bambinata, some finger puppets, brushes, and a dozen of unfinished drawings. Vanessa spreads out the stack of paper, and the first one is a drawing of a girl dancing ballet and a stick figure without any features. The second one is a girl busy doing maths exercises, and a stick figure without any features. The third one, the fourth one, each drawing is a snapshot of their childhood, and each one has a blank, featureless figure in them. In the background where it is empty, Bambinata wrote down many incomplete phrases and disjointed words. Sister. Black butterfly hairpin. Bambinata likes it? Don't cry. Experiment. Don't go. I remember. Remember, the rest are all Vanessa's name. The penmanship started coherent and fluid, but became hesitant and stuttering over time. Most of them even spelled her name wrong. When did she draw them? Vanessa tries to ignore them, but every line on these drawings is now branded in her mind. Hearing a commotion in the living room, she immediately puts the paper back into a stack. Hesitating briefly, Vanessa puts the drawings inside her pocket instead of the drawer. Looking over the other items inside the drawer, Vanessa does not find the other things that may help stabilize Bambinata's mind, and she pushes it back inside. Commandant! What is it? Raymond. Dr. Raymond just dropped this construct on me before going back upstairs. I recommend waiting for at least 3 hours before turning on the construct. Glancing at Petra's indifferent expression, Vanessa reaches out for the back of Bambinata's head. As expected, the slot where the memory chip is now empty. You know full well that Dr. Raymond won't let his research results leak so easily. We can't disobey a military order, but it is within our right to keep our scientific work. You. Don't push your luck, Vanessa. You knew this would happen, and you just wouldn't relent. If you would just emphasize our hard work for just a second, the time and energy spent on you wouldn't have been in vain. Nor the love your father and I gave Bambinata. Love, huh. Put her in the car and give her to the Science Council right away. Roger. Vanessa! Vanessa stops and turns around, looking at her shouting mother. Petra still looks cold and indifferent. She takes a deep breath and swallows the bitter taste in her mouth. Go. Don't you ever come back. Sure, mother. The frame upgrade has been successful. Bambinata is now combat ready, and I'll keep the old parts we've replaced as agreed. Sure. All right. What about that memory chip? I can't replicate what you described without the original chip. I've analyzed the port in the circuit to redesign an external module to store memory data, which is theoretically more effective and stable than before. But I don't think they extracted the memory chip properly last time. Whatever data is left in her is jumbled and scarce, resulting in mind deviation symptoms during our first run. To avoid affecting combat situations, I partitioned the module with a drive containing combat team and mission data. Basic information that she can access seamlessly, even if her memory is lost or corrupt or disrupted. You should verify if the data in there is accurate. This call sign, did you put it there? Vanessa points at one of the segments on the terminal that reads Nessa. Some entries were done automatically based on the remaining memory data in her. We're hoping that it will lower the chance of her mind will deviate. That said, you're free to edit them on the terminal if necessary. And her past memories can't be recovered, can they? This is all I can do for now. My guess is that her symptoms could be the after effects of the experiment, but I cannot make a more concrete conclusion without its detailed data. The key to solving Bambinata's predicament is to figure out how the invert device causes the conflict in her mind and how to respond to it. But all the current research on the invert device is still in its exploratory stage. It is nearly impossible to find out the correct way to avoid or resolve her problem under the current conditions. Perhaps when we have finally deciphered the secrets of the invert device, we will be able to find the missing pieces that resolve her complications, but I'm quite certain that will be an impossible task for now. The good news is that her amnesia isn't due to memory loss. The data entered her deep mind and couldn't be retrieved. We also have many things we can't recall, but these memories still exist in the subconscious. In other words, if we can resolve this problem, she will still be able to recall all her memories in theory. If you think this is the most appropriate way to handle her situation, so be it. I don't care what happens to her. I just need my construct to obey me, that's all. Isn't that right, Bambinata? Ooh, that was like at the beginning of the chapter, huh? There you go. Nice callback. Chapter 11. A Wish of a Puppet. Let's go. Solo Bambinata? Okay. Start from the beginning, obviously. Oh, Mother, give me one more chance. I'll convince Doris to behave. The fuck? Bambinata. Bambi. Hurry up. Hurry up. Wake up. Oh, damn. Are we in deep mine territory now? Yo. Who's there? Yo? A black butterfly? It flew away. Should Bambinata follow it? Whoa, shit! Oh shit! Yo, that scared me. Holy fuck. Did not expect that. Oh fuck. Oh fuck. So, you must learn this immediately. Be a good girl.
It's okay. Pain must be endured. Yes, mistress. Puppets must obey. We cannot get past here. It's okay. Pain must be endured. Yes, mistress. Puppets must. We cannot get past here. Puppets. It's okay. Pain must be endured. Puppets must obey.
Oh shit.
Yes, mistress. Your existence is against the mistress's wishes.
Okay, so it doesn't have to be. Okay, so it doesn't have to be Matrix.
Remove all obstacles. The mission isn't over. Bambinata can't fail. Not yet. We cannot get past here. Puppets must obey. Remove all obstacles. Puppets must obey. You cannot get past here. Bambinata couldn't live up to your expectation. Bambinata is... Remove all obstacles.
And
Puppets
girl be good. Oh
must
god.
obey. The mission isn't over. Bambinata can't fail. Not yet. Bambinata couldn't
Oh
live
shit,
up to your
yo, whoa, whoa.
expectation.
Oh god, everything's going crazy. Everything is going crazy. What the hell? Behave, behave, behave. Oh god. That's it. Never say no. Never do unnecessary things. You only have to listen to Mother's words. How simple is it, right? Oh god, oh shit.
It's okay. Pain must be endured. So, 命令に従うのはとても楽なの。いけません。バンビナータのこういうところが嫌だという人がいます。
Oh
いい子
shit.
にして。研究員のおじさんも言っていた。でも、バンビナータにも言いたいことがあって。いいのですか？言いたいことがあっても、間違ったことをしてはいけない。そうですか。間違いとは何でしょうか？沈黙が最悪の答えなら、何が正しい答えなのでしょうか？
Oh, is that like an angel and devil type thing?
彼女の
Angel on the shoulder, devil on the other? Oh, yo.
さっきなんでバレエが好きだって言わなかったの？
Oh, she's getting her memories back.
バンビナ
Let's
ータ、
go!
あんたは応援してくれる？いつか誰も私に逆らえないようにしてあげるわ。
言いたいことを伝えなきゃ。バネッサお姉さんに、ご主人様に。パパとママの命令に逆らっても。はい。これがバンビナータのやりたいことです。
Let's go! Bambinata getting free will. Let's go!
わかった。じゃあ早くバネッサお姉さんの元に戻らないと。
You love to see it. Yes! She finally gets free will. Yes! First priority is to get out of here. No!
You cannot get past here. Puppets must obey. You cannot get past here. Remove all obstacles. Puppets must obey. Yes, mistress. Your existence is against the mistress's wishes. You cannot get past here.
Mother! Mother will punish you. Yo? Let's go? Oh god, what's going on?
It's okay. Pain must be endured. You cannot get past here. Puppets must... Yes, mistress. Puppets must obey. Yes, mistress. Puppets must obey. You cannot get past here.
Bambinata will be right back to you, mistress. Let's go. Let's go! A dominating hand. Ooh, yes! Bear's in it too, okay. Oh, cutscene, let's go! Oh god, this is creepy as shit. Oh god, no. Let's go, Vera! Let's go! Let's go, Vera! Let's go!
Pain must be endured.
Get fucked! Get fucked, mother. Doors, go punish intruders.
Dance. Puppet. Must obey. It's okay. Pain must be endured. Let's begin pillaging this battlefield.
Get fucked, mother.
Hurts, doesn't it? Feed me.
More pain!
Omega lol.
Need a ride to hell?
Not good enough. Hurts, doesn't it? Puppets must obey. Your existence is against the mistress's wishes.
Let's go!
Yes, mistress. Yes, mistress. You cannot get past here. Puppets must obey. It's okay. Yes, mistress. You cannot get past here.
Nice! Get fucked! Oh shit. Oh god. What's going on? Oh fuck.
It's okay. Pain must
Oh
be
shit. Oh
endured.
fuck.
Remove all obstacles. Puppets must. Your existence is against the mistress's wishes.
Get fucked, mother.
It's okay. Pain must be endured. Yes. Feed me.
More pain!
Stand up. Yes, mistress. Puppets must obey. Remove all obstacles. Your existence is against the mistress's
Get
wishes.
wrecked, boss. Hey, ult. Nice ult. Oh shit. Oh no. Oh god.
Not good enough. Feed me.
More pain!
must obey. Your existence is against the mistress's
Nice.
wishes.
Get wrecked.
All off emission isn't over. Your existence is against the mistress's wishes.
Who said you could stand up? Not good enough. Feed me. Unsaid! Need a ride to hell?
Hey, get fucked, mother. Yay. That's right. Let's go. Bro, that boss was creepy as hell, man. I won't lie. That boss was creepy. Alright, the last thing. Alright, words left in a dream. Let's go. Will not allow. The large caretaker mechanoid falls down, the last trace of her discontent dissipating in the dark basement as her digital voice turns silent. Sorry, must be glitched out. Let's try that. Will not allow. The large caretaker mechanoid falls down, the last trace of her discontent dissipating in the dark basement as her digital voice turns silent. Finally defeating the enemy, Bambinata loses the will to hold on. Only then does Vanessa realize that her frame is heavily damaged. She should have avoided fighting in a way that further damaged her body when she could. Some of the vital fluid tubings are torn and require immediate attention. Her leg mounting plates need to be replaced as well. Don't look at me like that. I'm a support type construct after all. You should stay here with Dollface and maintain a deep mind connection with her. You stabilize her mind, and I'll grab some supplies from the transport craft. Alright. The clicking sound of Vera's heels gradually fades away, and the large circular room is quiet once more. Vanessa lays Bambinata's head on her thighs the same way Bambinata took care of her during the battle where they stayed behind for Grey Raven. Oh, Live 2D! Bambinata had a very, very long dream, mistress. Bambinata dreamed about a large house that she shared with you, and father and mother in the lab coats they always wore. You were the same height as Bambinata in the beginning, mistress. You taught Bambinata to cover up her belly when she napped and how not to make a sound stirring her coffee. You showed Bambinata how to do her hair and how to stand straight. You told Bambinata many things she doesn't hear nowadays. Your confusion after your hard work, your disappointment and discontent. Bambinata doesn't want them anywhere near you, mistress. Bambinata wants to chase them away every time she hears about them. The way you danced, the way you said goodnight, the way you read. You probably don't know about the drawings Bambinata secretly made, but Bambinata doesn't remember where they are now. Bambinata always wanted to draw herself with you in those pictures, but what should Bambinata look like? Bambinata couldn't figure out what shape she should take, so she never knew how to tell you her thoughts. If Bambinata could make that dream again, she'd tell father and mother it was her idea to stand with you, mistress. It was something Bambinata must do. Oh. My bad. Even without an order, no, even if it went against an order, Bambinata would tell you how she felt at the risk of being discarded. Those unfinished drawings, there would have been fewer blank spaces in them in them. If only Bambinata had understood this sooner. Vanessa hides her face in the shadow, keeping her expression away from Bambinata. She suddenly remembers the days and nights she has since forsaken and how there was always a pair of blue eyes watching her. She wanted to be heard, comforted, seen, and recognized. She wanted her solitude to be shared and her feelings to be understood. She took the first step. Why did those eyes turn away? Fearing that she would be alone and had to admit defeat, she decided to take control instead, fully and unrelentingly. That way, at least she could get those eyes back on her. After getting what she wanted by taking a shortcut, only now does she get the answer she has been waiting for. Damn, dude. This is sad. We've been observing her continuously since she arrived from Star of Life yesterday afternoon. She woke up a few times since then, and Rosa performed mind calibration every time. There's no sign that Bambinata's mind has had any significant alterations from the damage, judging from the results. What does that mean? No significant alterations? Your report mentions Bambinata having memory flashbacks on the surface and being controlled by the enemy mechanoid, right? It's common for constructs to have mind deviations or disturbances in situations like this, or you might find traces of enemy data left behind, but Bambinata's current state is the same as always. Most of the damage is only seen on the invert device. There doesn't seem to be any other after effects. I'm guessing that the mechanoid's controlling behavior is an evolution of her experimental function. The memory shell you retrieved contains its code and complete research log that echoes how it acted attacking you. As for the memory flashbacks, I suppose it might be a symptom of the sudden impact of the highly concentrated punishing virus on her mind and the invert device. But I can't rule out that it might be related to the experiment Bambinata was involved in either. Even Asimov doesn't realize he is lowering his voice when he speaks about this. Perhaps the mechanoid accidentally triggered some kind of response from the experiment when it tried to interfere with Bambinata's invert device. It's good that the after effects were gone once we repaired the invert device. Are the memory data of this mission recorded in our external memory module? Regrettably, no. The module was formatted once we were told that an enemy had taken control of the construct. From what I've been told, the Cerberus construct on the mission is under inspection as well. Formatted on whose order? I suppose he's the only one with the clearance to do so. I took some data snapshots before it was formatted, hoping that I can learn something useful regarding construct amnesia after I finish analyzing the data in the mechanoid's memory shell. So the things we retrieved are in your hands now? That's right. If you don't have any other questions, I should go back to analyzing the retrieved samples. Asimov, sorry to bother you. Are you available right now? President Hassan is hoping you could visit the conference room now. I'll be right there. Asimov grabs the files on the desk and prepares to leave the observation room, but he quickly turns back and points at the door to the inner chamber, indicating to Vanessa that she can bring Bambinata anyway. We can go now, Bambinata. Hearing her mistress calling, the sleeping construct opens her eyes instantly. Yes, mistress. There's nothing else to do today. You can go back to the lounge directly later. What is it? Did Bambinata do something wrong during the mission? The data in the external memory module weren't operated by you, mistress. You did nothing wrong. We just took your external memory module for maintenance when you weren't awake. But you did nothing wrong. Don't overthink. I know what you want to say. Understood. It's fine if you want to keep an eye on me. Can you do it out of my sight, though? I haven't been able to move around for the past few days. Don't tempt me with your punchable face. I know you can hear me. Dismiss. The two construct soldiers leave the room upon receiving the order. The bulky door closes once again, and Vera finally relaxes and sits down, awaiting the other end of the call to explain her current situation. The inspection is over. Your mind doesn't have any after effects from this mission. You can leave soon. You ought to know that from the start. Sure, but this is still a necessary step. Is it? You knew I couldn't have to come into contact with anyone from Corona privately. It's fine from now on. What is that supposed to mean? From now on, all private interactions of yours are considered expressly permitted. If you ever need to compile 2 mission reports, send me a copy directly through the encrypted channel. There may still be necessary steps every now and then, but I guarantee it won't harm you, and especially not the Cerberus members. What about the other thing you promised? That's another story. I told you in our encrypted messages. Take care of the things you retrieve before handing them in, and I'll take care of the preparations for the next phase. Once the Science Council completes the full report, the result will be plain to see in no time. Understood. In Corona, what if no one contacts me? I can't just gift wrap and deliver myself. Don't you worry about that. All you need to do is take the bait when someone's fishing. If you don't have any other questions, this is the official end of your inspection. Although she has known her role as a construct for a very long time, Vera is still bothered by being wielded by external forces she cannot control. But when she thinks of the 2 constructs who are messing around in the lounge while they wait for her return, she reckons this is a mess worth getting into. Oh, I was wondering who it is. If it isn't the remarkable Captain Vera! The inspection must have not been enjoyable, I assume. Oh, isn't that the Egret commandant who insisted on following her construct on a surface mission? How devoted you are to Dollface there. You're picking her up from maintenance yourself. Isn't it normal for one to fully exhaust her toy for a few more days before getting a new one? Is it? I wonder who it was that got you so worried when she lost her doll. Thank you, by the way, for showcasing that exceptional range of emotions on your pretty face. Vanessa furrows her brows from Vera's mockery. Right as she is about to respond, Vera waves and departs, saying, "Thank you for your wonderful performance, mistress and maid. Good luck, your highness." Vanessa closes her eyes to calm herself down. After a while, she opens her eyes and chuckles. You too. I should save my breath instead of arguing with a construct like you. The 2 of them are both relentless with their insults, but Bambinata does not feel hostility between them. If anything, she senses a peculiar rapport. Let's go, Bambinata. Yes, mistress. The obedient puppet follows her mistress, going through 3 hallways before returning to the Egret lounge. Peaceful sunlight showers the corridors, casting their shadows on the reflective walls, one in front, one in the back. The obedient puppet never deviates from her mistress's pace, always following her mistress from behind. As long as her frame is needed, as long as her name is called. No matter how tomorrow repeats, Bambinata will never fear waking up from nothingness. Aww. Oh, that was a good story. That was a good chapter, man. I love that chapter, dude. Great chapter. Another great chapter from PGR, man. Love the story writing of this. Honestly, I was super invested. I'll be honest. I was super invested in this story. I really loved the characterization of all the characters in this story. Great 10 out of 10 stuff. Honestly, presentation, great. Love the presentation. Honestly though, loved that there was live 2D in there. The cutscenes, quality, 10%. 9 out of 10. 100%. And honestly, this chapter did a very good job in making me invested in Bambinata and Vanessa as well. So hats off to that. Also, great character development for Vanessa as well during this chapter. You'll love to see it. honestly, music was also really good in this chapter as well. I loved the use of also all the narrative devices and also the symbolism as well in this chapter. With the biggest one being the whole crack in the picture frame. That was a very good symbolism and foreshadowing in one. I love that. Because it showed a crack in the family. It also showed how the family, that over time that there would be cracks in the family, as well as the actual picture frame being broken. So that was great stuff. The music, brilliant. Love the focus on the heavy focus on the violin, on the fast-paced violin. That stuff, and also the music box as well. The horror element. As for the horror element, pretty well done. Not gonna lie. Actually, that was a pretty well done horror element. I won't lie when I say that it was able to get me and was able to scare me and get me. I'll be honest. It was able to get me. So yeah. Honestly, other than that, I would honestly say the weakest part, obviously consistently with Kuro and all that stuff, with this chapter is sort of the localization and the spelling mistakes. Because they were honestly more present. I feel like they were more present during this chapter, but yeah. Other than that, 9 out of 10 chapter. Great chapter, loved it, and yeah. Great stuff.